know.
Bonus content worthy. Okay, describe them to me.
If only I had like a webcam, you know. I'll have to get one.
God, heaven forbid anyone else have video on this goddamn show.
Yeah, because like I've got like this. I had so many visual things happen where like I'm opening a package. I have the hoodie on that I did not have on previously. So I got some socks.
Okay.
They're black. They say "me" on them. They're no-show socks. And then farther deeper into the bag says, "Are you ready for these jellies?" Jellies light up in the night sea, so it only made sense for ours to do the same. Hold a black light up to our jellies print and watch them come to life. Oh shit.
Oh shit.
Damn, son.
Hey everybody,
There's
welcome.
some jellyfish on here.
Welcome to bonus content. My name is Alex O'Neill, and this is my nightmare. Tony Horvath is here. Brian Nalbishan Jackson is here. Scott will probably be joining us in some reasonable amount of time.
Yeah.
Thanks everybody who sent in questions today for tonight's show. I wanted them, and y'all provided. I got some good ones.
I got some stuff to talk about in this bonus content.
Okay. Can I bring something up first?
Sure.
I don't typically do my thing on bonus content. I usually skip myself because nothing happens in my life. Surprising no one. When I'm home, when I'm not like out traveling and world fairing, whatever the words are, nothing. I do nothing. I take my pants off. I lay on this couch that you see right here, horizontally, and I typically play some Japanese game. Last Sunday, I did yard work.
Yeah.
For the first time in probably about 10 years since I was a child living with my parents.
How does that feel?
It was bad. Hey, it was, I had this realization, and stop me if you've heard this before. I don't like yard work.
Yeah, dude, it's weird. Like, I was thinking that whole thing at the same time when I was like out there building that fucking fence for 3 weeks.
Hell yeah, dude. I remember that. Yeah, it was, here's the thing, and I apologize, Nalbishan. I understand. I appreciate that you were my senior. You were older than me. You're wiser. You were greater. But you're also far more in shape than I am. When I woke up the next day, a part of my body hurt that has never hurt before. And it was like, I think it's been my first experience of like, my body does not like recover quite as well. And it's really freaking me out because like I'm mid-20s, man. I should be riding high right now. It made me start thinking about like, I wonder how much I could budget for a gym membership. Like maybe it's worth it to be a little more alive in this body. But you know, like under your thigh, like the muscle, like your crouching muscle,
right?
It's been hurting all week, and it's hurting so much. It's mostly okay today. It still hurts a little bit if I like really get in a good crouch position. But it hurts so much that I'm like, I must have done something.
You ice it?
I should have. It's too late.
It's been like a week. Like you haven't iced it?
I mean, like I don't know, man. I guess like I never thought of that. You know, it's so rare that any part of my body is exerted. But the thing, like I have my legs of all of my parts of my body are in pretty good condition because I go for walks a lot. I stand all day at work. I walk miles throughout a day at work. And, you know, I obviously go to conventions and whatnot, and I'm walking pretty much for 3 days straight in those cases. But I don't know, man. It's like this one part of my leg muscles that just never gets a workout, and all that crouching and ripping up weeds and all that. My body did not agree with it. So I'm ready to give... on the Irrational Passion scale, I give yard work a 4.5 out of 10.
Nice.
It's not great. Not good, even. It's bad.
What games does yard work rank higher than?
It's almost the equivalent of Red Faction Guerrilla Remastered Edition, which Jarrett Green gave it a 5.0. So I would use that. Yard work is slightly better than Orc Attack Flatulent Rebellion. Jared Green's possibly his best review, which I believe he gave a 3.0. That's a phenomenal read if you want to dig that one up out of the archives. It's not quite as good as it's actually a little bit better than The Walking Dead season 2. It's my touchstone, which I believe I gave a 4 out of 10 for being bad. Tony, you got some stuff. Nobshin, you got some stuff. What's going on with you in your life, Nobshin?
Tony has something to say.
What's going on with your life, Tony?
All right.
What did you do?
So I did a lot of shit. It's a lot of just mundane, like living shit.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, like I went to work a lot, and then I did some shit. I bought some shit on Amazon for Prime Day. I got a new phone. I think we talked about that. And then I bought a new pillow, so I'm excited about that. I'm gonna sleep real good.
Ooh, what kind of pillow are we talking? You get like a purple pillow, one of those purple.
No, is that a thing?
It is. It's like they make mattresses. I see fucking YouTube ads for purple all the time.
Really?
Yeah, Nabshin's got to be with me on this.
I've literally never heard of that.
It's like you'll know it when there's two main ads that they run. One is led by a dude, the other is led by a girl. The girl is in like a Swiss like Alps, like one of the like a yodeler outfit for whatever reason. They never really touch on why. And it's just like the big selling point of that ad is like whoever's there pulling a lever and then a big glass wall with 4 eggs on it falling on the mattress and none of the eggs breaking. Like that's pretty much the whole thing. They have other tests that they do. I see them all the time, so it's also on Instagram. But
yeah, no, the one I bought was just like a memory foam one that was on sale for Prime Day. It was like supposed to be $70, and I paid like $30. So I was like, this seems like a good deal. I'll spend my money on this.
How does it feel knowing that you were supporting horrible wage conditions by buying something?
Feels awesome. It's probably gonna feel so good when I go to bed. I haven't slept on it yet though.
Did you get it today?
Yeah, today.
Ooh, here's the thing about the foam pillow. You got to break that bad boy in.
I'm gonna break it in with the back of my head.
All right. You can't lay. I like to lay on my side personally. Can't lay on your side on like a new foam pillow because it'll scrunch your ears in. You'll get that cauliflower ear, just like when you're boxing. It's really bad. It hurts a lot.
No, I usually sleep like stomach down, and face on side on pillow. Yeah. I've never met anyone who
dick down, ass up.
Claimed to sleep.
I know.
Like, I don't know. Have you ever met someone who claims to sleep like face directly into pillow?
I don't know. I think I have met people like that.
How do they breathe?
I don't know, dude. Maybe they have an apparatus.
Maybe just like stick a tube in their nose and go to bed.
Yeah, they get one of those weird, like Matrix breathing tubes that they stick all the way down their throat.
Yeah, and then they just face first right into the pillow.
It's a very sexual experience.
Sounds really awful.
It does.
So I did that. I bought that, and I bought 2 wireless chargers, one for my desk and then one for my bedside table.
Nice.
So I can just set my phone on this wireless stand, and it charges fast. It's great.
You're living the high life now.
I don't have to plug a cable in. I don't know, that was on sale too, so I bought that. And then, throughout work, I discovered a new restaurant that I like a lot. It's not really a restaurant, more than like a lunch spot. It's called Kava. It's called Kava.
I think I've heard of Kava.
It's right next to the Chipotle that we go to all the time. It's like 2 businesses down, and it's basically Chipotle but for pitas instead of burritos. And it's pretty good.
Okay.
So I went there. I got, they have like falafel and stuff too, but I just got like the chicken and a bunch of stuff, and it's delicious. So I would recommend Kava. Check it out. And then this was all. And then yesterday, I was at work, and I was like, "Hey, so my coworker was like, hey, what are you doing? Like when you leave, what are you doing today?" And I was like, "Well, I plan to go get my hair cut, and then I have some other things to take care of." And she was like, "Oh, you should go to this place," and recommended me a barbershop nearby. because it is way better and cheaper than the place that you're going to right now. And I was like, okay, I'll go there. So I left work and I plugged it in Google Maps, which, by the way, sometime this week, Google Maps was like, hey, do you want to be a local guide for Google Maps? I was like, I don't know what that means, but okay. So I'm a local guide for Google now. I don't know. Whenever
somebody's going to come to your house and be like, where do I go?
Yeah. I don't know what that means, but apparently I'm just like, I'm the fucking man now for the area that I live in. So yeah, my reviews pop up as like local guide. This guy knows what the fuck he's talking about. So that's super weird.
Local deviant.
But anyway, so I plug in this thing, and it's honestly more annoying than I wanted it to be. It like pops up with notifications on my phone, like, "Hey, you went to this thing. Can you review it for us?" Or like, "Is this phone number correct for this thing?" I'm like, "Shut up."
Do you like butt?
But yeah, so I went to this haircut place, and I walked in, and there was like one other person in there, and there were two stylists. So the barber like pointed at the chair and was like, "Hey, what's up? You want to get a haircut?" And I was like, "All right." Except they didn't say that at all because she was a petite Asian lady. Chinese probably, or Taiwanese or something, and I don't think she spoke very much English. But anyway, my coworker had recommended this place, so I set my fears aside and I told them what I would like done with my hair, and she proceeded to give me like the best haircut I've ever gotten ever. And then after the thing, she's like, "Okay, it's $14," and I pulled out my card, and she was like, "Oh no, we only take cash."
Oh, I know the exact barber that you went to.
And I was like, and then she was like, "Oh, don't worry, it's okay. There's an ATM in the liquor store across the street." And I was like, "Okay, I guess I'll go to this liquor store." So I walk in, and the ATM's out of order. So and then the Middle Eastern man behind the counter is like, "Hold on, I will fill this ATM for you, kind sir. If you please wait like 5 minutes." He proceeds to take 30 minutes to refill the ATM with some cash. And then it charges me $22.50 to get $20 out of the ATM. Feels good, man. So I go back. I give the elated Taiwanese lady who probably thought I was never coming back my $20 bill and say, "You can keep this." And then I was so stressed out about having to sit in like 17 minutes worth of traffic to cross the street at that particular intersection after waiting in a liquor store for 30 minutes for a guy to put some cash in an ATM that I had to go eat Panda Express to soothe my worries.
Did it soothe it?
Yeah, it was great. It was probably some of the best Panda Express I've ever eaten, which is not really setting the bar very high.
Yeah, it's a very low bar.
Panda Express, but like, whatever.
I have a development for you, Tony. In my life, my headphones literally just broke.
Shit.
I was like, man, I feel like I can't hear out of the left ear as well, and then I touched it and it just fell out of the thing. I just put it back in there, but I think I think we could be looking at like a Last Supper situation for my headphones right now, which I'm real bummed out about. Had these. This was a graduation present for graduating high school. I've had these for 7 years.
Bad, man.
Feels bad, man. Anyway.
But yeah, so I did that, and then I don't know. I was, God, like I had a super stressful week at work. So like that was at the end of my week on Thursday. So like kind of cap it off. So yeah, like today being able to just kind of get the shit I need done and like not really have that many complications, though it would definitely had some complications, more than I anticipated. It's been all right. I'm happy to be just kind of hanging out,
It's funny because like I think even Scott, I think all four of us have gotten promoted at work recently in the last like 4 months, right? And I'm sure both of you can speak to it since you're both in more managerial positions. But man, work is fucking stressful.
Well, so here's the thing: like my job, as I am paid more and get I'm essentially the number 2 behind the people who own the company. So literally anything and everything is on my shoulders.
Yeah.
And then I also become sort of like not in a bad sense, but they're like kind of like their punching bag for anything that's going wrong that day.
Yeah, for sure. Tony.
So yeah, I don't know. Like, that definitely adds to my stress throughout the week, and the job that I do is already extremely stressful. So by the end of a 43+ hour work week, I'm just like, fuck, man.
Yeah, dude.
So yeah, my Saturdays and Fridays and Saturdays are my like recoup day.
Mm.
And so anyway, I was talking to you guys earlier before the show started about having to go finish the import to Maryland process of my new car, which meant that I had to go get a Maryland State inspection done. And I just wanted it to be super stress free. Like, go up, drop it off, be like, all right, do this, see ya. And it was anything but only for me. Like, honestly, like, they didn't give me any trouble. It was fine. But like, I was annoyed about the things. They're like, hey, this minute thing that doesn't actually matter because they work fine. Go buy new ones and also spend way more money than you expected to spend on this. All right, see ya. And then the dealer in Virginia is expecting them to like send a virtual copy of it to them, like to email it to them or whatever. And the person at the dealer is like, yeah, we don't do that. And I was like, what do you mean? So you're saying that this was worthless, that I have to do it again? And probably not. I emailed the guy at the other dealership, and it's probably fine. But it's just like a bunch of like annoying things are going on.
Yeah, I feel that. I mean, you, like, Tony, you're familiar with where I work. It's just a constant, never-ending storm of fire.
Oh, yeah, especially in the position that you're in now.
Yeah, dude.
It's kind of like your job to deal with the firestorm.
Yeah, I have to put out the fires left and right.
There's like that GIF image that people use on the internet.
The dog in the house?
The dog, and it's like everything is fine.
This is fine, dog.
Fire. That's exactly how I feel.
Yeah, that's how I feel a lot, too. Shout out to the chat. Just want to give a couple shout outs. Loyalty Lies in the chat. I don't know if that's like a name. It's the first time they've been in chat before, so I just want to give them a shout out. And also Mike Burgess says press F for headphones. Press F to pay respect for headphones. Yeah,
that's basically my whole week of just random shit. And then I'm super excited. I've been super excited all week for us to go and get fucking ramen noodles tomorrow.
Yes.
I'm super hyped.
Here's good news and bad news.
What?
I'm down, but I also work very late.
Okay.
I might be able to do it during my lunch break though.
Don't you only get like 30 minutes?
I get an hour.
Mm.
It's not that far for me is the thing, so we'll see. I work until 11 tomorrow is the problem. I didn't expect to be working that late, but I think my
11 is pretty late.
Yeah, I think my my lunch break line. Scott was like, I am only available in a 2-hour window. I was like, all right. I think my lunch break falls in that 2-hour window, so we might be able to make it happen. Sit down, kiss each other, eat ramen. Namashita, what's up with you, man? What's going on?
Stuff.
Go on.
I think it's something like the best way I could describe it is like I was driving down the road after I did like a whole bunch of stuff and then I drove by my local movie theater and I was like I looked at it for a second. I was like, should I go see Hotel Transylvania 3 by myself? And then I was like, you know what? That's the clear sign of me having like a midlife crisis right now. Does it say something like that out loud? To be like, should I see this fucking movie that like I had no aspirations to even really see? Even though I
did
do
that
like
too, dude. Don't worry about it. It's not that you're
No. It's not even really that. It's like there's like a whole bunch of stuff that like adds on to this. But like because I've been having thoughts for weeks now. Pretty much because like almost every time I leave like kind of funny go from San Francisco back here, like I always feel it's always like it's like my life check barometer type of thing. It's like, where am I at in life right now? And it's like, oh, I'm not happy, or I could do better, or something like that. So it's stuff like that. And it's not like I'm not happy right now. It's just like I've done some stuff today. Like like literally today. Like today I fucking just straight up just deleted my Twitter and Facebook. Like and it's weird what like even like really caused that, because it's like oh, it's the 10th anniversary of Giant Bomb. Oh, it's the 10th anniversary of like the Last Airbender cartoon. Like since the last episode of that.
Oh,
that's
today.
The
last episode, okay.
Yeah, so it's like, oh, like good stuff, and like and then like you know, Twitter usually being Twitter, where it's like, oh, that's cool, and it's like, oh, that's fucking depressing. Oh, shut up. Oh, this thing, oh, that thing, and then and for some reason, like like me seeing like the James Gunn news, it's like you know what, fuck it, I'm just done. And I just straight up just deleted my Twitter, and I just put like a tweet that said peace, put like the hand symbol emoji, and then like I just deleted it. Like, because you know I've always been like on the edge of like just deleting Twitter like for forever. Like I did my purge like maybe like a year ago, just like unfollow like a whole bunch of people to like be a little bit saner and like just like and like the people I follow are like just the people I care about and people I trust and like
oh, that's why you unfollowed me.
And like and yeah, I was just like pretty much leaving it to them to like educate me and like make me a better person, which they have done, and like I respect them a lot for it. But like I don't know, like there was something about today. There's a bunch of work related stuff that I can't really get into, but like work's gonna be shit tomorrow. And next week I closed every day, which I absolutely despise closing, but like it's something I have to do in order for like to get the place where it needs to be, and like I'm obviously the person to sacrifice myself and my time to like get it the way it needs to be. So of course I'll do it because that's just the guy I am. But like it was just like a whole bunch of stuff, and like so I just pretty much just deleted everything and like pretty much like got all my contacts and like I just put a post on Instagram like saying, hey, I just deleted everything like for like all my outside friends to like get in contact with me. So sorry about that. But like I think like for sure this time like I'm at a point now where it's like I think I'm really am just like done with it, done with like social media for the most part. Like Instagram is probably like the only one I'll keep because like Instagram feels like it's something like it's two more steps to like put something negative on there. Because you have to make a picture, then like you have to type what you want to say, and like you would actually have to like hit more to see exactly everything they have to say about something. So it's so many steps to like someone to say like, hey, I really hate this movie, to like you know, like be like, this is too much work, I don't want to do it, rather than like put like a hot take on Twitter or something like that. So like I don't know, like I still have my Fresh Off the Dome podcast Twitter account. Like I would still like to do stuff with that, but like show kind of survived on like my social friends on Twitter. So like and I more or less abandoned them, which I kind of feel shitty about that right now. Like I might just like reactivate it, say like, hey, I'm literally gonna be off of this like forever now. So like if you want to follow me, here's my phone number, or or get me up on Instagram, because like I'm just done with this. So I don't know. That's just where I am in life right now.
I get that. I mean, like, as someone who recently burned the Facebook bridge, I know you did as well, Tony.
I had to redo it though.
I know.
It won't let me go.
I deleted it now. I didn't just deactivate it, so it's gone. It's gone forever. That felt good, man. I can never. It's weird, you know. I can never get off Twitter. Like it's like it is my. It's my my crucible. I don't know. My cross to bear. That I willingly bear. The thing is, I've like cultivated my Twitter where like very little negativity gets into it. And I am like so unafraid to block, unfollow, mute. Like I retweeted something like pro female game development recently. And somebody who has followed me for a long time like came in there. It was like spitting fire, like zero empathy, like this is dumb, I this is like bullshit, blah blah blah. And I like, you know, scorched earth, man. I muted him, I unfollowed them, and I blocked every person that liked that reply. There were just a bunch of people that I didn't know. And like it's harsh, but like, you know, if you want to come into my Twitter feed and into my mentions and have a conversation, I'm always open to that. But like, I have like done a very good and thorough job of anytime somebody comes at me at 11, there is no conversation. You do not talk to me like that. So like I'm very lucky to say that I have the ability to do that. Like, you know, there are many people that can only block so many people in a given day, and it's not enough, right?
Yeah, and like for my situation, it's like I'm lucky enough. I have a lot of great friends that you know, like anything I put out there, because like I never really tweet anything negative like at all anymore,
Yeah.
or if I ever did, like it's been a long time since I have. Like unless it's like involved with something like bleach or something like that, I'll say something. But like I always like put the asterisk of like this is just my opinion, so like don't who the fuck am I?
Yeah.
So but like everyone who ever responded to stuff that I've ever said is just like, you know, like they're supportive, or like they ask me about like John Anderson's really good at like just asking like, hey, like why do you feel this way? And like I usually try to respond to them. I never got around to it like the last one he tweeted at me about, but like and like I take that to heart, and I love my people who do that with me. But like I know like for me and my mindset, like this is why I'm not really like this is like why Fresh Off the Dome is never something I really promote, or like where I'm not really like a front facing person in just in general. Like just give me like one negative thing, it will literally destroy me. That's the mindset I am. That's the type of person I am. So like I don't know. That's just like the way I just generally feel about like all of this, and like
and I get that, like, you know, that's the point I was trying to get to before I just started rambling, is that like ultimately you're not doing a disservice to the people that you know there if you're trying to do a little bit for yourself, you know, like those people, knowing most of them, not all of them, but most of them, many of them, they care about you and they would want you to do what you have to do for yourself, right?
mm-hmm.
So like
Right.
I would encourage you never to harbor guilt for cutting yourself off from that. Plus, like, I know the people that like you care about talking to, like Nicole or Kaylee or whatever, like you're gonna still talk to them. You know,
Yeah.
you have your way of talking to them regardless. So
For sure. But like I think like I'm saying, like probably like I'm gonna like take like literally like a month break from Twitter, and then like I'll just probably put like one more post on there saying like, hey, like I'm actually leaving this thing. So like give me your contact information, give me your or just follow me on Instagram, because like this is where I'll be for now on. So but like yeah, it's just like, cause like I had such a good like as far as like Twitter interactions today, like it's been great. Like I talked to Jessica, and I talked to I talked to Blessing, because I congratulated him on his PAX panel, and so it's just like the people on there that I actually interact with, it's just like it's fine. Like if I just focused on my friends, it'll be fine. But like, you know, like my friends like to focus on like bigger issues, which is fine. And it's just like sometimes when you see that in like fucking Twitter like suggestions, it's like this puts like crap on there, and like I don't really want to see or don't even really care about. But like it's just like I think this is for my mental health. Like this is just like the best solution for me. And it's a shame too. Like I used to really like Twitter a great deal, but then this is just like with the hot takes and like the Fresh Off the Dome thing. That's why that was like my way to counteract it. That would make me like saner, and I enjoy the conversation. And like like this is probably the biggest shame is like I don't think I can really do that show anymore. Like I'll have talk. I would like to have conversation. I would like to still talk to people, but like it's harder for me to like interact with people. That's because like Twitter was the way I did that. So I don't know. Probably that.
Here's my question, and again, I don't think that any of this is bad. How do you plan on, if at all, because maybe this is like really the way out. How do you plan on keeping up with like news, just general news?
I'm really good about that myself. I've always been good about that. Like I care about stuff like that. Like like I will go to Sun Canary and like usually, and like obviously I watch Kind of Funny Games daily, and like
not necessarily gaming news, but like news.
Oh, news in general, like real news.
Yeah, like real news.
Oh, yeah, that is the question. Twitter was that for me.
Yeah, it is that in a lot of like I will go to BBC directly, which is my preferred journalistic outlet, because they're not American. I'll go to BBC and I'll read the headlines usually twice a week, but That's just what I was thinking. Like, you got your podcast and everything, so you'll be fine.
Yeah.
But
I guess my fucking iPhone app. I don't know. Like,
I mean, the news app on there is all right.
Yeah, like I don't know. Like I'll find a solution in that. Honestly, that's a really
BBC's
good.
good.
That's a big thing.
That's my suggestion. BBC News. I just do they have like their tabs set out: news, U.S. and Canada, and just go from there. I like the way they write their stories. They very much leave the opinion out of it, and they have op-ed pieces that do a really good job getting their takes out there. So if you want like pretty good objective news, I know like I'm sure somebody out there is like the BBC's fucking on the payroll of somebody. I'm sure somebody out there thinks that, but I think it's pretty good. Atlantic's good as well.
I still just feel like I know I shouldn't be, but like I feel real bad. This is like this piecing out.
I mean, here's the thing, right? I'm not trying to encourage you one way or the other. Any decision like that isn't necessarily permanent. Maybe it needs to be for you right now, and that's fine. Maybe you'll change your mind in a month. That's also fine. Maybe you really just genuinely need space from that, and that's just not a preferred interaction platform anymore.
Yeah, because I know I have a social media addiction, so like I'm well aware of that, and like like anytime I ever left Twitter before, I always had my account. It's just like like this is just like me just further and just like cutting the snake's head off type of thing.
All right, I'm gonna make a new account. I'm gonna sit on Nobshin 186 though, so I just don't want anybody taking that. Now I gotta edit all the fucking podcast bios. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna edit all of them. But yeah, I think that's fine. Free yourself.
If anyone's listening to this, just mind putting it out in the ether that like I'm probably off Twitter. And like
we got a couple people in there. Cameron's
I'm just saying this like I don't want to like not that I feel like I'm some fucking big shit or important or something like that. I just don't want someone who like
hey, people do care.
I don't know
whether that is a small or I care. You're narrowcasting to me right now. No, but whether that is a small group of people or not, regardless, I know plenty of people that would and do care. Jeff Troney out there is not going to know what the fuck's going on.
Exactly, that's what I
mean. But he cares. I know he cares.
Okay.
Jason A. Striker cares wherever he is.
Yeah, he's not on Instagram, so that's a shame.
It's true. Got to get him on there. I'll start texting Lisa every day saying, "Tell Jason to get in Instagram. Follow now." Yeah, no. George Cruz in the chat. He cares. George tweeted out that he hated that gloss PS4, and I felt that. Nah, man. More power to you. Set yourself free.
Okay.
Don't be crazy like me and have your entire life's work dependent on Twitter. That's my cross to bear. No one uses Twitter more than Tony Horvath. I really want to know what you think of this, Tony.
I don't know, dude. Fucking chase your bliss, dude. I don't care.
Chase your bliss. What have we learned on this podcast in the last 5 to 8 years? Also, I want to, before I finish that thought, quick aside, Irrational Passions turned 8. Didn't even mention it on the podcast. July 3rd was our 8th anniversary, and like it was like, yeah, fuck, it's fine. But in the last 5 to 8 years, what have we learned, Nabishin? Chase your bliss. Live in your truth. This is your truth.
All right.
Before we get the actual podcast started, I really have to pee, and I'm sorry. Normally I can get to like break 1, but I'm falling apart, man. I got this leg pain. I'm sorry, everyone. I'm gonna put up the little thing. When we come back, we're gonna be back with the opening of the show. Hopefully Scott will be here in the next couple of minutes for that. And then we're going to talk about some video games. So we'll be back in just a bit, viewers. Hey everyone, we're about to get started. Very excited. I pulled one news story, Nabashin. I don't know if you saw it.
I did not.
It was the Nathan Fillion fan film,
Oh, okay.
which I wanted to talk about. But did you watch that?
I did.
Okay. I couldn't find any other news for the life of me outside of the whole Fortnite 1 billion thing. But like, I feel like we don't have any intelligent commentary. Not that we ever do, but like in that specific instance, it was more of a cold shot situation.
I think I got something for us.
Okay.
The news. So.
Okay. And we do have a handful of good questions as well. Yeah, my headphones are for sure broken, everyone. Viewers at home, I want you to know my headphones are fucking broken. I'm very upset about it. I've had these Astros for 7 years. I'm emotionally invested in these headphones. Maybe I can oh man, I'm not going to be able to afford it. I was going to say maybe I can get a new pair of Astros while at PAX West.
Oh.
Since it will be discounted there, but I'm not going to.
I should probably get a new pair of headphones at some point, but that's pretty far off for me, I think.
Yeah, I think yours are probably still pretty good.
They're okay. The top part has broken like 4 times, but I just keep super gluing it back on.
Hell yeah.
So, it's basically perfect.
Basically perfect. Let's get started, y'all.
Okay.
It is Friday, July 20th.
You want to record first?
Yeah, you
I was
guys
like,
are right.
did I miss the
Holy
record
shit.
button?
That's the first time I think I've ever done that. Fuck, guys.
Write this down in your history books. Alex O'Neill losing it.
I'm losing my edge. Man, fucking Snowbike Mike's got me on edge. That guy's too fucking talented.
He's too fucking good, dude.
He's so good. It is unfucking believable. Like, honestly, I listened to that. I'm like, it sounds like he's been hosting this show his entire life. I can't even record on my own goddamn podcast. Shout out to Snowbike Mike. If you don't follow that guy, I'm a recent convert to Snowbike Mike, but that dude is fucking rad.
He is so good, dude.
Much respect. All right, you guys ready to start recording? I am now. I just did a test recording before I did that too. I was like, oh, it's fine. On 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Uh-huh.
There we go. We're doing it live, folks. Only the bonus content viewers will get it.
Did we start recording?
Did you start recording, Tony?
No, I didn't.
Oh my god.
This is the show we know.
Yeah, there we go. Now we're in the good shit. Are you ready now, Tony?
I'm about as ready as I'm ever going to be, I think.
All right, on 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Let me make sure this is going. Okay. I'm sorry, everyone watching. You get to witness this shit show. It is Friday, July 20th, 2018, and you are listening to the Irrational Passions Podcast. I'm your host, Alex O'Neill, and joining me on this illustrious podcasting evening is Tony Horvath.
What's up?
And my good friend and yours, Brian Nabashin Jackson.
Fuck Batman.
What is that from?
That Titans trailer?
Oh, shit, really?
Oh, yeah,
Did they
dude.
say fuck in that Titans trailer?
Oh, yeah, dude.
Dude, what? Oh, man, all right. Stop the show. Stop the presses. What's going on with Titans? Nabashin, give me the take.
Is a darker. It looks like a darker version of a CW. It's a regular CW show, but they gave it like
But they can say the F word now.
They can cut and snap necks and kill people and shit like that. So that's their edge. So like, if that's your thing, you might like it. But like for me personally, nah, I will watch that.
Does Robin and or Nightwing say fuck Batman?
It's Robin, and it is Robin who says that.
Wow, I feel like that's a little disingenuous. I don't know if that's true to the Robin character that I know and love. Hey everybody, welcome to Irrational Passions Podcast. It's
Well, Dick Grayson. Dick Grayson got animosity.
He does, for
Sometimes.
sure. But like, there's also a mutual level of respect.
Sure.
You know? I feel like he would not say "fuck Batman."
But you gotta be edgy, man.
Yeah, you
Would
are not
fuck
wrong.
Batman?
Fuck Batman, y'all. Can I take a moment and say "fuck Batman"?
Yes, I think you may.
Yes, quite. If the episode title isn't "fuck Batman" now, I really don't know what it's gonna be. I guess we're just getting started.
It's gonna be Buck Fat Man, dude.
Buck Fat Man, y'all. Welcome to Irrational Passions Podcast. It's a video games podcast, surprising everyone on the internet.
What?
I know, crazy. I'm your host, as I said earlier, and we've got a great show lineup for you all. I asked for questions on Twitter to our wonderful followers at IrrationalPod, and y'all provided. We've got voicemail later in the show. We got some games to talk about. What better place to start, Tony, than housekeeping? Would you not agree? Housekeeping, never mind. I was going to make a reference to the Kind of Funny Morning Show, but I feel it's too rude, lewd, and nude for our show.
That's three things that I'm really into.
I know. We got a few things that went up on IrrationalPassions.com this week. If you missed it, tons of cool stuff. First and foremost, we've got a review of Red Faction Guerrilla Remastered Edition. Let me, Tony, I want you to hear that title one more time. Red Faction Guerrilla Remastered Edition.
Man, that's a good name.
Because it takes place on Mars.
Who came up with that?
Somebody at THQ Nordic that is not getting paid enough. Probably the same guy that came up with Darksiders War Mastered Edition and Darksiders 2 Definitive Edition.
People are awesome.
So Jarrett Green, let's say, doesn't believe that game aged well.
I was in a Discord with Jarrett Green earlier this week, and I can confirm that he's kind of crazy. So,
was it the official Irrational Passions Discord?
It was.
You can find that link on Twitter at IrrationalPod. Go join that. Hang out with us. Tony's there more than I am.
Dude, that wasn't a plug, by the way. Please don't use me as your platform.
Oh, it's too late, my friend. You're just a platform I'm crawling all over. Call me Mario because I'm crawling on your platforms. Also up this week, a new series from our good friend Mike Burgess. Although this isn't like a necessarily strictly Mike Burgess series. This could be done by multiple folks. Indie highlights. He went through a few indie games that both himself and the team have been playing. A couple of things were like, hey, we got this code, but like I don't necessarily know if I could do a review for this, or hey, like I just started playing this. I can't necessarily get something up, but I would like to tell people about it because I'm really excited about it, which I thought it was a cool idea, and Mike threw it together really quickly, and I think it came together great. So that's up on IrrationalPassions.com and also on Irrational Passions YouTube channel, where you can watch the pre-show 30-minute warm-up of off-topic conversations, bonus content for this very episode of this podcast. He talked about Fossil Hunters, Moose Man, and Earthfall, 3 games that all look pretty cool in my humble opinion. Also, Input episode 51 is up. They talked about this whole culling situation, which Tony, I feel like that's something you probably would have heard about. The Culling 2.
I haven't heard anything.
It's a battle royale game sequel to one of the original battle royale titles.
See, this is why I haven't heard anything, because I don't care about battle royale games anymore.
Yeah, always like a quick fire. You are lit and then you're out. Then you're extinguished.
Yeah, dude. I move on. I play MOBAs now.
Yeah, you're a fucking nerd now.
Yeah.
But the Culling 2 released for early access. I think early access for $20, and it did very poorly. And then they pulled it off the Steam marketplace. after charging for it. I guess they probably did refunds and everything. But yeah, it was a whole thing. They talked about it on Input, so we don't have to. Very interesting story. You should go listen to Input. That's it for housekeeping. A couple other little bits of housekeeping. I want to congratulate Giant Bomb. 10 years today. I planned this. I planned how we record on Fridays specifically so that we could record on the 10-year anniversary of Giant Bomb and thank them for basically allowing us to steal their podcast format and not DMCAing us. I don't know if you could do that for a podcast format, but, it might be. Anything's possible.
Mm-hmm. You still did break music for years until they stopped using it.
That's true. I only stopped using that because y'all told me to stop using it. But Brian Davis said anyone could take that music. I believe. Anyway, congrats to Giant Bomb. Obviously, massive influence on this show. Influence on all the hosts here, except for Scott, who doesn't know what the internet is.
Scott kind of knows what the internet is.
He kind of does, but he doesn't understand hashtag content. And I really need him to get on this brand. Scott Guthier may be joining us later on this podcast. Worth noting. But yeah. Also, shout out to Mikey Dotry. Is that how you say his last name? I'm terrible with last names, but also Snowbike Mike. Two folks I met in San Francisco, members of the Kind of Funny community. They hosted Kind of Funny Games Daily for today and yesterday, which is a cool daily news show run by Kind of Funny out of their video games part, Kind of Funny Games. And I thought they did a phenomenal job. I was so impressed. I wanted to give them a shout out here. Humbled by those two. Very talented, very charming. That Mikey kid, he's very charming. Snowbike Mike speaks for himself, quite literally. But yeah, and I think that's it. Another shout out to Input just for hitting 50 episodes. Very proud of those boys. Oh yeah, the last big thing. Just today we found out we were all approved for PAX West. I will be there. Scott White will be there. Mike Burgess will be there, and Logan Wilkinson will be there. We were gonna be hanging out, doing. We're trying to do some live things at PAX West. That I like. The plan is as much as that conversation is like, hey, we'd like to do some live stuff at PAX West. If all goes according to plan, we will be bunking up with the folks from OK Beast, which I'm very excited about. We're going to be a little bit of, hopefully, some crossover stuff that we're going to try and do with them. And it's going to be a lot of fun. If you're going to be in Seattle at the end of August, beginning of September, let us know. Come hang out and say hi. We'd love to see you. And we'll be there, troops on the ground, covering the show floor, just like we were doing for PAX East. There won't be 6 of us there, but there will be 4 of us, and we plan to work very hard. So if you're going to PAX West, I look forward to seeing you there. That's it for housekeeping. You guys want to talk about video games?
Okay.
I mean, I guess. Nabashin, fill me with some video games. Here, before you go into your thing, I don't know what you have. But at the very end of last week's show, you were like, "Hey, I finished Detroit. By the way, didn't bring that up earlier. I wanna circle back around to that. I want to talk about Detroit. You finished Detroit last week, I assume.
Like 2 weeks ago now.
Okay, fair enough. We did miss a week in there at some point. What'd you think, man?
Oh, I absolutely loved it.
Is this your favorite Quantic Dream game now?
Yeah, I would say definitely mostly because of yes, definitely because of Connor. I would say Connor stuff is excellent. Like I think beginning and car stuff is like really wholesome, and I really enjoyed that a lot. And Marcus's stuff, heavy handed at first, but like I generally liked it. But like it has its moments where it's just like just too much.
I think Marcus is that story is very much like towing the problematic line a little tight, and it's doing that with a lot of melodrama and also like a romance that just kind of happens. I don't know if that happened for you.
Yeah, totally did.
Just like, all right, I guess we're doing this. Like, I have no feelings of affection for you. But yeah, I think that game's great. How were you happy? I guess I don't necessarily want to spoil anything. Were you happy with how everything played out for your characters in the end?
Yeah, like pretty much everyone for me got through it to the end. There was one character who there's literally only one character who like of semblance that I really cared about, or not really cared about. He was just a character. He could have been more.
Dude, I know who you're talking about, and he also died for me. So
yeah, but like pretty much everyone else, like everyone got to the end. Was significant. A lot of stuff was just real good. Like this is a very engaging game for me. More than I even thought it would be. Because like when I started it was just like okay, I'll do like I do like each one of their chapters a a day pretty much. So it's like Kara, Marcus, and then Connor, Marcus, Connor, like a day. And then like by the end of it, I just like kept just plowing through all of them. Like I just really enjoyed that entire experience. Really.
Yeah, dude. I would say, see, the funny thing is, like, I had one of my 3 characters had a very depressing ending, but I was still really satisfied with it, you know? Like, it felt like the culmination of that character's story. Like, it felt conclusive for me. And I was really happy with it in that regard. Even if it was very, very sad. I cannot overestimate or overstate how fucking sad and depressing it was. But especially with like, it worked out with in like the big picture stuff worked out and the little picture stuff didn't. So it very much felt like, I don't want to say a stereotypical one of those stories because it didn't play out like that, but it felt well done. You know, I was not unhappy at the end. I didn't feel like I got cheated, even though I think it's easy to feel that way. I did what my instincts told me to, and I got where I got. Yeah, that game is great. I'm glad that you finished it. I'm glad you played it. Have you listened to any spoiler casts or anything about it yet?
That's pretty much the Easy Allies spoiler cast because like Hubert and Blood had like vastly different ways that they got their ending. So like just hearing them compared with each other was like really fascinating. And like I think it was Bloods who was like really like more divergent in like what I went through. I know Hubert was like in his playthrough, like especially with Kara, he's like, hey, this girl's my number one priority.
It's my life right now.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck about anybody. So like the whole ticket thing, like he just totally just took that shit. So I was like, okay. Yeah. I didn't do that, but good on you.
Yeah, I didn't do that either. That's when things started to go south. I'm gonna let you know for me. But yeah, I listened to that as well. I'd recommend listening to our roundtable about it. I thought we had a good conversation. And also, like we touched on a lot of the kind of troubling material in that game, in a more positive approach that isn't like at all unfair or not critical enough. I feel like we towed the line pretty well for that conversation. Even though I fucked up the video part of it, so you can't see our faces while we're talking, but either way. Yeah,
a game could have like tons of issues, but like it can still be enjoyable in the end. That's pretty much all a Quantum Dreams game, more or less. And like as far as like this game in general, like I think they finally got like the game portion of it like super done really well. Even the story portion done really well. So yeah.
Yeah, and I'm still torn on the kind of appropriative stuff in that game. I still think generally it does it in a way that is genuine and earnest and heavy-handed, but like not offensive, you know. That is how I felt. Like no part of that game felt dismissive or at all like trivializing the kinds of movements that it references. And those references are very much just lightweight references. I think Logan put it well in his write-up of like it is less like the civil rights era and more like Nazi Germany, in where it goes with its dark themes. So cool. I'm glad you played it.
Complete sidebar.
Yeah.
I was thinking about this when I was watching the Wolverine, because like all the X-Men movies, blah 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 blah.
You're flashing back to when you watched that with Ethan and I, and Ethan leaned over to me and said, "Who's Eugene?" when when Logan says, "I love Eugene." Fucking so stupid.
I completely forgot about that.
Right here, I'm bringing it back to you.
What was I about to say?
Cool.
Oh, like how much longer can like Magneto be relevant? Because like the Holocaust is his thing, and like it's like almost it'll be like a point where it's like, well, he's gonna be like 90 years old and like still be the power, the god of magnetism or whatever. So I don't know. I was just thinking about that.
I feel like it'll always be relevant, but there's you gotta wait for someone real clever to come in and like reboot that character with a new origin that like is still true to that trauma.
Sure.
And I knowing all the phenomenal writers out there, especially in comics, I'm sure somebody will figure it out, and I'm very excited to see what that is. It's just not right now.
Yeah, like the only thing I could really think of is like he won't be Jewish anymore and just be like another race, and like maybe that'll be the issue.
Like a black Magneto from like one of the genocidal countries in Africa, I think could be like a equivalently powerful origin story, but like would bring parts of that dark origin out in to a much wider audience that probably are less familiar with it. And I think like some of the coolest stuff in comics right now is doing stuff like that, like all the Miss Marvel stuff. Hey, Scott.
Hello.
You ready to start recording, bud?
I'm ready.
Cool. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
We're good.
And
hi, Scott.
Scott Guthrie's here.
I made it finally.
You made it. How was your day, Scott?
It was very long. That's really all I have to say about it.
Cool. We're talking about Nobshin's video games, so welcome aboard. What else have you been playing, Nobshin?
I got the update to Sonic Mania, so I started playing Sonic Mania Plus, and that's like a good little addition. But like, you know, it doesn't add too much, so I don't want to like get anyone's like expectations too high for what's in it. They just add like the encore mode, and like added an Mighty Armadillo and Ray the Flying Squirrel. Ray the Flying Squirrel flies just like Mario and Super Mario World with like with the way he used his cape, so like it's like back and forth, being just like float eternally, and like Mighty has like a good like ground slam move, so like that's cool. And like as far as like the levels, like the levels are pretty much the same, but like there's like a little bit of remixes to it. They did add Angel Island in like the first level, so like that's cool. We'll call back to that for you to actually play. But like yeah, it's a good little addition. It's only $5 if you actually have Sonic Mania, so like I think that's totally worth it. Just putting it out there.
Rad. I don't have Sonic Mania, but I'm thinking about it. Do you think I'd like that game? I feel like I've asked you this 12 times.
I think you would. God, what was it?
Okay, listen.
All right, Scott.
And you bought the Naruto collection.
Yeah.
Just get this one.
Okay.
And play it.
Okay. Do you agree, Nobshin?
Yeah, I do. God, what was the other game that just came out recently? That's like sprite based. Oh, maybe I think
Octopath.
I think I'm thinking about something else, like something like this that just came back. That's like a revival series.
Ooh, I feel like I know what you're talking about too. Blanking.
No, nothing strikes my mind if you're talking about pixelated and.
Is it a Switch game?
Maybe I can't think about it right now. But like maybe I am thinking about it, but whatever. But like just to like have something that's like really clean and like is like I think I am thinking about it off the path. Like just like a new way of looking of something that's retro, because like you just look at the animations of Sonic Mania and they're just incredible. Just like for like something that like you know what it looks like, you know how like sprite animation usually is, but like they just take it to the next level as far as the way that game looks. I think it's like super impressive. Like it's still pretty much what you see from like Sonic 2 or Sonic CD or something like that. But like you could just tell like how much extra animations they put into everything, which I really enjoy. And like it's just fun. It's just a fun game to play.
That's good to hear. How much was the Sonic, like the actual Mania Plus stuff? It was what, $5?
The add-on was $5. I think the game was like 20 altogether. So
I think the Plus is 30 if you didn't have it before.
yeah. So like if you already had it, it's like $5.
All right, that's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
What else have you been playing, Option? What else you got?
Went back to Valkyria Chronicles. Been putting good time about that. More time than I even thought I was gonna put into it. Like, because like obviously I want to play more of it before
4 comes out, man. Getting close.
Yeah. Just remind myself of why I like that game and like, oh yeah, I do like this game a lot.
Just gonna say this: if there's a possibility that when Valkyria Chronicles 4 comes out, you will be on video on this podcast wearing a Cloud Strife wig if you don't get your shit together and play Final Fantasy VII. I'm just gonna like kind of bring it up organically, like I just did by interrupting you throughout the show over the next few months. Just gonna throw it out there.
Yeah. But like yeah, that game's still like rad. Like I did chapter 7. I did chapter 7 in like 2 tries. So like I died the first time, or I did it wrong the first time. And I realized what I did it wrong. Like as soon as I just retried it right away, and like then I got it like right away, which is good. Because I was like, that was like the difficulty spike that like infamously everybody just stopped playing Valkyria Chronicles with chapter 7. But like I kind of recalled it and like got past it really easily. Well, not easily, but like I got past it. No one died, so I was happy with that.
Good.
And yeah, like I got to the point where I can actually get trophies in that game. So because you can't get trophies until you meet the princess and save her, because that's when
get the medals. Yeah,
and that's what your trophies in the game. So I thought that was funny. But I finally got trophies in the game, which makes me
you finally
excited.
got Valkyria Chronicles trophies. Let there be light.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, that game is just still as amazing as I remember. It's still one of my favorite games ever. I just love it to death.
So good on PS4, but also in 60 FPS. Looks so good.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. What are you gonna play Valkyria Chronicles 4 on?
Probably PS4.
Okay. I'm thinking PS4. I do like the idea of being able to pop it out and play on Switch.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I've been going back and forth for Tales of Vesperia in my head a lot.
Like realistically, I should play it on my Xbox One because like I'll get the best bang for my buck with that. But like no, I'll go PS4 for that game.
Yeah, makes sense. Continue the lineage.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like I could play Kingdom Hearts 3 on my Xbox. It just doesn't feel right.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else you got?
Since you wanted to bring it up, play a little bit more Final Fantasy VII.
Hell yeah. Where you at, man?
Oh, playing a little bit more. Yeah, I guess I am. No, I didn't even start playing until like this week, I guess. But like I finally got past the point where like I've always stopped at Final Fantasy VII. It's literally after like you meet Aerith, then you fight like the guys from that show up, and then you throw barrels at them.
Yeah.
And then like you jump on the rooftop, and then like after that you save, and then it's like go to Aerith's house, and I'm like, where is that at? And like I could never find it, and I always stop there every time for the last 20 years. I've done that, and I finally found it this time.
Hell yeah, my guy.
But it was like it was like you wouldn't know. Like I guess like the lights on the ground, it's like kind of like your symbol of like you can go through
flowers, pretty much.
There are flowers there? I didn't see. I don't notice flowers. It's like textures.
Yeah, I mean,
no textures,
you're not wrong. They are textures. Hey, listen, dude. The game's got some problems. I'm not gonna lie to you. What has helped me in the past, I know like this might be a turnoff for you. I think it's select. It might be the touchpad on the PS4 version, which I assume is what you're playing. There's a thing that you can do that'll make like a little arrow pop up pointing at your character, but it also puts a little red arrow over all of the possible exits and entrances.
Weird.
Yeah, because all the pre-rendered backgrounds are in the game, it does make it a little bit difficult to tell what is an actual entrance and exit sometimes.
Yeah.
Especially later in that game. If you're like looking for secrets and stuff, which there are some helpful items that you can grab along the way, just throughout the whole game. That might be really helpful. So if you're ever like in an area being like, I feel like I can leave through a door that I just can't really tell is a door, try turning that on, toggling that on, and looking around.
Okay.
There's a O'Neill pro tip for you.
I probably won't use it, but like, because like if I was going to do that, I would just use a fucking walkthrough to play the game. But like, nah.
It's very different because it's an in-game system. It was in the original. It's not like something they added.
Yeah, it would be. I would say that would be more like playing Dead Space, but opting to not use the waypoint.
The little like the little circle waypoint.
Yeah, it's like that. It'd be like more like calling that thing cheating.
Yeah, it's there. It's in the game. It's part of the original game because of the pre-rendered background. So
Okay.
don't feel bad about it. It's not something that somebody added, like clicking in the left stick.
Basically, they made the game and they understood they had a problem, and that was
Okay.
What I'm saying is Final Fantasy VII is self-aware and it knows its own problems. But yeah, that might help in the near future.
Okay. And I stopped when I just got to like the circus or wherever that place is. So not too much farther from Eric's house, but like yeah, it's the farthest I've ever gotten. So like everything is new to me. So
you're coming up on a very infamous scene in that game. I'm very excited.
Okay.
Cool. Keep trucking along, Nabishin.
Yeah. I playing that game just like made me nostalgic for fucking Crisis Core again. And I just looked up YouTube videos about Zach because I love Zach.
Just
and it's like,
learn about Zach, my boy Zach.
dude, I love Zach, dude. Zach is so
Zach's
good.
Cool.
Zach is amazing. I love Zach.
I like Zach a lot. I think like my opinion on the weird lottery thing in Crisis Core colors my opinion of Zach a little bit, and I
can see that.
Like it is just a mechanic that I really did not jive with, but I get it.
But God, looking at the cutscenes from like Crisis Core again, like oh my God, I don't remember that game at all. Like fucking Angeal and then Angeal's copy with like a little griffin thing and like has like his face on it and then like that game is so weird.
Who is the third guy, the guy with the red coat?
I can't remember his fucking name, dude. It's like Genesis or something like that.
I think it is totally Genesis. Fucking Christ, man. But that CG cutscene though, where Sephiroth, Genesis, and Angeal fight is it's top 10, y'all. It's fucking hype.
That's amazing. I played that game too. I still can't see how I played that game entirely. I love it and just like whatever Final Fantasy VII. Like
Mr. Lore aficionado Brian Nobishin Jackson over here, like fucking on his high horse, screaming from the hilltops about Crisis Core, refuses to play the original game. You'll play Dirge of Cerberus before you fucking beat up Final Fantasy VII, and it's killing me.
Oh man,
I looked it up. It's Genesis.
There you go. Thank you, Scott.
Yeah. Thank you.
Fucking what a stupid character.
Him? Yeah. Angeal and Zach?
Angeal is cool.
Angeal and Zach are great.
Yeah.
Genesis,
stupid. It's like that we want another bad boy Sephiroth-like character. But he wears a red coat. Anyway.
And the only other thing I've played is Hollow Knight. I'm like 10 hours into that game.
Fuck yes, dude! Hollow Knight is so good, right?
It's so good.
Fuck. I'm sorry, I'm just so upset.
It's like I said, like there's a point in that game where it just literally becomes Mega Man X. I'm like, oh, okay. And then like, this is like, it rocked my world. I love it.
What's the mechanic that made it Mega Man X for you?
When I could jump on walls.
Okay.
You could slide down walls and jump on walls. So
yeah.
Okay. Not like side to side, but like actually
one of the
jump
first
up walls.
like I think that's like the first traversal upgrade you get. Yeah, it's good.
I think I got it like a while before I got that. So
yeah, it's true. Like, you can do a lot of things out of order in that game. So
yeah.
Man, it's a thing like there's a fucking double jump in that game, right?
Yeah,
but they make you wait for it in a way that is like tantalizing and teasing, but like not bad, you know. I'm trying to think the last game that did that, and I think like the closest I can think of is like Metroid Prime 1. But even still, like you get the double jump about a little over a third into that game. You don't get the double jump in Hollow Knight till way late. You can get it earlier than I did when I played it, but still, it's just and it's so good when you do get it. Nabishin, I'm gonna let you know, it's And it's just that like the never ending story of video games, Hollow Knight, where it's just like it keeps going and it keeps surprising you, even hours and hours in. Like you're 10 hours in, right? You're probably fucking nowhere near finishing that game, and that's so cool for a game like that, in my opinion. So,
yeah, I dig it a bunch. Like I'm surprised how much I dig it, even like how much I keep going back to it. The reason I'm not playing like Octopath Traveler, one reason is because I got Final Fantasy 7 and I don't want to like mix up the two. But like one reason I'm not playing Final Fantasy 7 is because I'm playing Hollow Knight. Like that's just like the game I just go back to, like either portably or on my TV. It's just like that's just the game to play. That is the game for me right now. So I'm enjoying that a whole bunch.
Excellent. It's been so great to just see all these people like Moises Tavares preaching Hollow Knight. I love it. Is that all you got?
Yeah, that's been everything on me.
Tony.
Hi.
You want to fill me with some video games?
I played League of Legends.
How is League going? Is it treating you well?
I don't know, man. It's just League.
So no.
No, it's not that. It's just fucking League. Like I don't know. It is what it is, and it's always gonna be that. So.
I like. Here's my thing. Right, and hear me out, Tony. Have you ever thought about not playing League of Legends?
Yeah, except there's nothing else to play.
And I should know this by now. Lord knows we've only hosted a podcast together for 8 years. Congrats, Scott. Also, we hit 8 years, by the way. I brought it up earlier in the show. Like it came and passed. No one said anything. I figured I should bring it up at least once. Happy 8 years.
I guess we did.
Yeah, beginning of July. 8 years. Oh, cool. Moving on. So Tony, you need like a rock, right? You need something just like a game that you can play.
Yep.
One game, preferably, that you can just dense time into, right?
Yeah, like when there's nothing else going on, because 90% of the time when I'm playing video games, no one's around. So I got to play my multiplayer games by myself, you know?
Hell yeah, dude. That's the only way I like to do it. Fuck people, am I right, y'all?
Yeah, exactly.
But what if I'm gonna just bring this up as a suggestion, Tony.
Okay.
What if the game wasn't League of Legends?
Great, find me another one.
I'll work on it. You know what? I'll do some homework and
Final Fantasy 15.
Let me tell you about Final Fantasy 15. Boys. Final Fantasy 15 : boys. Have you heard of the Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy? I'll do some homework, Tony. I'll bring you a suggestion next week.
Okay.
Are you literally just waiting for Monster Hunter?
Pretty much.
Okay.
Hell yeah. But that's going to look real good on your computer, I'm sure.
Yeah, it should. That's the hope, right?
It's a dream. What else you got, Tony?
I installed Warframe.
All right.
Game's all right.
It came out on Switch, and you're like, all right, now I can get into this.
Yeah, the game's all right, man. I have played like maybe an hour.
Cool.
But you know, like from what I've played, it's all right.
I hear a lot of good things about Warframe. I hear the biggest thing that turns me off of Warframe is like that it's like a grind fest, but I don't know. You're into that, Tony. Whining and grinding.
So give him a minute.
Was it me that was cutting out, or was it you guys?
It was just Tony.
Okay. I didn't even hear him. Tony was just swarmed by a fleet of bats in his very cold.
Say in our chat, you got to give me a minute.
Okay. Cool. Then you know what? We can move on.
I'm back.
Oh, hey, welcome back.
Hey. I had to mute in the middle of that. I'm sorry.
It's okay. You were swarmed by a flock of bats. I understand.
Not a flock of bats, a flock of dogs.
A bunch of goddamn dogs.
4 of them. But anyway,
I just hear it's very grindy. Warframe.
Yeah, that's what I want, right? Like,
sure. That's your jam.
So yeah, I don't know. I installed that, and I was like, this looks okay. And then I got the free shit that you get for having Twitch Prime. So I'm messing with that. And I did like the first hour of it. And it seems cool. I watched a YouTube video before I started, and it was like, hey, for anyone new to this game, the game sucks unless you know how to gun jump, which means that you crouch and then you jump out of your crouch, which does this like really fast lunge forward, and then you jump again, and it's another like flip forward, and then you aim with your gun, which when you're in the air and you aim with your gun, you ES, and it slows down time, but not movement. So you crouch, jump again, and then slide forward like fucking Superman. And you can just chain that over and over again to go really fast around the levels. And once I learned how to do that, the game was way better.
That sounds all right, actually.
It's pretty fucking fun. It looks cool, too.
It is a good-looking game. I played 15 minutes of Warframe with Joseph Fate.
Was he gun jumping?
He wasn't. We had no idea of this mechanic. I had zero fun in that 15 minutes.
Yeah, same. They've done a lot to make it better, I'll say.
Yeah.
But yeah, I installed it, and I was like, this looks cool, I guess. And a couple of my friends were playing, so I was like, all right, let's see what happens. And
I went ahead and I installed it too.
Scott has it installed. I don't know if he's even looked at it yet.
Nope.
Yeah.
So
we'll see what happens with that. I don't know. It's super grindy, but I don't mind a grind.
Okay.
So that, and then I've been playing Puzzle and Dragons.
Fucking goddamn it, Scott! You got him on it again.
And that game.
Don't fucking tell
pretty
me
fun to. It's pretty fun to come back to Puzzle and Dragons after not playing for like 3 years. Or like, I know it wasn't 3 years. It was 1 year. It was exactly a year, pretty much. Because my mail, which you get mail every day in the game, that has like shit in it, especially during events,
and it
all
expires. Living
expires.
Human shit in it.
Yeah, it expires 365 days after you get it, and you can't get the item anymore. And when I logged in, like my first item was expiring in 2 hours, so it was 2 hours short of 1 year that I wasn't playing.
Damn.
Puzzle Dragons.
Well, by the way, that was reduced to 60 days.
Oh, now is it 60 days?
Now it's 60 days.
Got it. So I guess I can't quit for more than 60 days now.
Shit, man. 2 months.
Yeah. So I logged back in, and it was fun because they've done so many updates to it that are like, hey, this is how you make this not unbearable. And like, it's just a bunch of quality of life shit, and having all that was like, okay, cool. I can just go through and bam, 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 just like put together 3 teams that are like in the meta now. So I've got all those, and I'm just like kind of, it's Puzzle Dragons. It's a mobile game. You play it for a long time in short bursts. So I've been doing that.
All right, man. Whatever makes you happy, I guess. I'll let you know, Puzzle and Dragons was not one of the games I was going to suggest.
That's okay.
Scott Cuthier.
Yeah, nothing too new.
Okay. Still playing the same shit?
Yeah.
Into the Breach.
Into the Breach. We made you buy that. Have you played it yet?
No, that's actually something. Thanks, because I don't think I installed it.
All right, dude. This is
Awesome.
This is your reminder that $10 you spent on that game that you should play it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a list now. Damn it.
It's okay. Just it's a friendly reminder.
That's a game from this year, right?
That is a game from this year.
It totally is.
Yeah.
I have a bunch of games from this year that are coming out this year that I'm losing my time on.
Yeah, I gotcha. What do you? I'm just curious. What do you typically? We don't have to get into it, but what do you typically play as a pastime right now?
I'm still in the Black Desert.
Okay.
I got Will into it.
Oh, yeah, that'll do.
He kind of came to me and said, "You know what? Bless sucks. I'm playing Black Desert again."
Weird that it took us so long to find that out.
Damn. Sometimes you got to learn that lesson the hard way,
But no, this happened a while ago, and it's kind of why I'm still playing.
Okay.
So there's that, and Pad.
Pad?
Play League
Puzzle and Dragons.
Puzzle and Dragons.
Okay.
It's all Pad.
You call it Pad or you call it nothing.
All right,
Other
I'll call it
than
Pad.
that, I play the Odd League game with Tony.
Okay.
That's about all the league I play.
That's good. That's a healthy amount of league, Scott. I approve.
And And other than those three things, right now that's it. When I pick up the Switch, I chug through Zelda a little more.
Okay.
I think from the last update, I haven't done anything too substantial.
Yeah.
I might have gotten 3 more shrines because I've been working on doing the Zora shit.
Yeah. It's cool to hear you still.
There's a bunch of shrines around there. Why not?
Yeah. It's cool to hear you still check back in on that game though.
Yeah, and if that's not up, I guess shouldn't say I'm checking back into Blossom Tale.
Okay.
Because the last time I played is the last time I checked in with it.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Mm.
Cool.
But that's still happening.
Yeah. You can probably knock that game out in one more sesh.
Yeah, I gotta get that session though.
Yeah, I gotcha.
You gotta stop making me podcast, dude.
I know, man.
Yeah, you know what we could have been doing right now?
Ramen tomorrow.
It's literally once a week.
We could have been doing ramen right now.
We could have, but like it's literally once a week. I was telling.
And then we could podcast like tomorrow.
That sounds terrible. Unless you guys want to podcast 11:30 at night.
I do, actually.
That's all you ever want to do. All right. It's cool to check in every now and again, see what's filling.
All right. But like seriously, when ramen tomorrow?
Let's discuss that on the break, so that way we're not making plans in the middle of our
wasn't
podcast.
No. This is more important than the podcast. Fuck the podcast. Fuck the viewers.
I played some
break
video
right
games. I'd like to talk about. And one of them is Resident Evil 5.
Yeah.
I played through all of Resident Evil 5 in the last week with Andrew Taylor.
Like 2 fucking days.
In 2 days.
Y'all are machines.
Listen, man. He's unemployed and I don't sleep. It's a good combo. So yeah, Andrew Taylor and I sat down. We streamed the whole thing too, from Andrew's account, Papa Dome Shot, on Sunday. We started, and then from both our accounts on Monday we finished. Sorry, the stream was like cutting in and out on my end. I was not hooked up to Ethernet like I normally am, but it was fine. It worked out. I caught it for the most part. But that was fun. Option was hanging out in the chat for a little bit there, giving us hot tips. We beat that game. Beat the hell out of that game. At some point we're hoping to play the DLC.
Please. It's so good.
I've still never seen it, so I'm pretty psyched.
One of them's really, really good, and one of them's just okay.
Yeah. I didn't even know about the other one. The second one with Jill and what's his face?
Yeah.
Josh. I got there. But yeah, Andrew played as Chris Redfield, and I played as Sheva. And Chris Redfield's still way buff. Here's my thing about Resident Evil 5, because it's been a while since I finished it, and I replayed through the first kind of like act with Jacob Bryant not too long ago, and we were hoping to play through the whole game, but he's very busy. He's got to be out there drinking every night. He's got a brand to rep. If he wasn't, I'd be disappointed in him. So going through it again, like man, like I think that game is really cool. I'd forgotten about like the weird like little open world section, lake section that you do in the middle there. That was cool, but the last part of that game is just kind of a bummer, and I think that's why a lot of people give it a lot of shit. And some of that is justified, I think, because basically you get to the end and it's like there's this kind of bad cover mechanic and it doesn't really work for that game. And also the people that the quote unquote zombies that you're fighting just have fully automatic assault rifles. And it's just like, this kind of sucks. This isn't very fun.
I mean, it's really interesting because like, especially at the time, years was a thing. So like the biggest judgment about the game for that time was like just the movement and you can't like move and shoot. And there's not a proper cover system. And then like hearing Andrew when he was like playing and about it, like his biggest concern was obviously the controls, because like, he's so used to like modern games now. Like games don't control like that anymore. So
yeah.
It was fun watching you guys play that.
I had forgotten that RE5 was also like not full tank controls, but it is like a plant your feet and shoot game.
Mhm.
I thought you could move and shoot in that game, and you absolutely cannot.
That's RE6, my dude.
Yes, that is RE6. I looked up because I was just kind of going through how long to beat and just seeing like how long are these games, like, because I think Andrew and I got through RE5 in about 9 hours, and like it says that game's about 12 hours long. It says Resident Evil 6 is 23 hours long. And I'm like, who the fuck wanted this? No, I never wanted a 23-hour Resident Evil game ever.
Do you upgrade weapons in that game?
No, I don't think so. I'm thinking about it. No,
Because the appeal of Resident Evil 5 is like, you know, the multiple playthroughs and like upgrading your weapons and eventually get unlimited ammo and all that stuff. That's what made that game so much super fun.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know if like Resident Evil 6 ever had that. I just don't know.
It has the whole herb system. You can combine herbs and everything, but like the inventory is like there's no inventory in that game. You just have like preset guns.
Ooh, not even inventory?
No, like it's like you can pick up herbs and ammo. Like there is inventory, but it's like you have 6 slots, very bare bones. Like you're at no point carrying items to solve puzzles in that game. You know, like that's just not a part of it. But yeah, I don't know. Andrew does point out it was about 12 hours long. 6.5 hours the first night, 5.5 the second, or 5 hours the second night. Yeah, Resident Evil is cool. It's just like that last part is kind of a bummer. It had been so long since I played the whole game with another person, and I had never done that online. I did it with like the shitty letterbox split screen that's built in that game. It was definitely a lot more fun to play online. It's fun to play with Andrew. Like he talked about it last week that he had played Resident Evil 5. I thought that meant he had finished it. He had just played through the first kind of half chapter. And it's funny, like when we were playing, he was like, "Yeah, I watched a stream of it last night. You know, up to this point." I'm like, "Man, he fucking spoiled all this great stuff for you," but he didn't get to the chainsaw guy. So from that point on, he was ready to go. So that was it's very much like the whole last act of that game escalates so fucking quickly. It is literally like, man, this guy seems bad. Here's your old partner, I guess. To I'm fighting a giant tentacle monster on a boat. To I'm fighting a mastermind villain in a volcano. Like there is no. And I guess spoilers, but like, even if I said that sentence without context, no one would believe me. But, but there, like, I thought like that game gets buck wild a little earlier. No, it's like really just the very last act of that game is just fucking bonkers. But it's, yeah, man. Like, there's no build up, man. It just goes for it. It's just like, all right, we're in a volcano, and like it is just completely, you're fighting through this boat, and the boat kind of makes sense, like this big shipping container with this virus, and then there's the giant monster on the boat, which doesn't make any sense, because like how would it get that big? And then there's like a private jet on the boat, and then the jet takes off, and then it's a QuickTime event thing. There's so many terrible QuickTime event things that I'm not gonna lie, guys. Andrew's real bad at. I know he's watching live right now, and he's gonna be like, "Hey, fuck you! I was hitting those buttons," but like, hey, like he was missing those buttons. There's a whole QuickTime event thing on the plane, and then it just like, what volcano does it land in? It's like, where are we? Like, what ocean was the boat on, and we just left the boat full of this horrible virus. We just left the boat. Like, where's the boat? Like, no one asked that question at any point, like, where's the boat? Like, the Resident Evil 5 2, where's the boat is my new indie project that I'm making. It's like, yeah, it's there's just a lot of it. The whole last act of that game just escalates to insanity from basically nothing. Like, it's, you know, it's crazy and weird, and it's Resident Evil, and people are injecting themselves with whatever and turning into monsters, I guess. But the whole last 3 chapters of that game defy any logic. But it's all right. The last part of that game is a bit of a bummer mechanically, but it's all right. You can definitely feel it was influenced by like the Gears of War or whatnot. It doesn't do that quite as well, but I think it's funny because like I had that moment, you know, when the turret section comes up, Nopshin of like,
oh yeah, I heard that.
Fucking dude, 2009 video games, man, always have a turret section.
Nothing says last generation to the fucking turret section.
Literally nothing says early PS3 360 or mid PS3 360 than a fucking turret section. I was like, why is this in this game? Why am I fighting a boss who's a giant monster in a turret, in a stationary turret, and he's just like coming back and forth between trying to hit me and failing, I guess. Like, none of this makes any sense.
Because Uncharted thought it was a good idea.
I'm trying to think of, like, when is the Uncharted 1 definitely has a turret section. I don't think 2 or 3 has one.
No, I'm pretty sure Uncharted 1 is where that started.
No, Gears of War 1 has, like, an infamous turret section. Gears of War 1 has the turret section, but it also has, like, the driving section. And I feel like that was just every video game after that point. But it was like, it's very much in that same time frame, like 2006 to 2007. But yeah, anyway, there are parts of that game that are like so last gen. But the biggest, the thing I wanted to bring up that's super last gen, it's like it is a made for co-op game. Like there are no games like that anymore. Or if they are, they're like more than 2 players, you know? Like Destiny, for example, cooperative, like the raids in a way are like made for co-op experiences. Not in the same kind of like weirdly heavy-handed way of like, oh, we're going through a dark cave. I have to give up being able to shoot my gun to carry this light so you can fight enemies, I guess. Like, which is the most like PS3 360 co-op game. Like, that's such an Army of Two bullshit thing to put in your fucking game. But I love it. Like, I think it's so great. Like, the whole, I'm going to throw you up onto this thing that I can't reach because I'm Chris Redfield and I'm so muscular I can't turn my neck. But we're going to get separated and we're going to, like, go along these parallel paths and then we're going to meet in the middle. Like, that's such a co-op thing. It's such, like, a Gears of War or, like, of that era mechanic. And I would love to see, like, a good, because in a way, A Way Out is like, let's just do that whole thing but a little bit better. And that might be why I ended up liking A Way Out as much as I did. But I'd love to see like a smart modern take on stuff like that because I think it could be really good. Anyway, that's Resident Evil 5. It was fun. I'm glad I got to play it with Andrew. I also played
boulder.
Yeah, Andrew punched the shit out of that boulder, and I've never been more proud of him in my life. Took a few tries to get through there because there's a lot of quick time events. I also played Resident Evil 4. I'm in the last chapter of that game. I'm on the island, which I forgot was part of that game. And it's very much a similar thing of like, last act of this game, just militarized zombies, I guess. Like, dudes in like military fatigues and then a giant minigun guy. And it's like, fuck this, I guess. But less so because no one has, at least the common enemies don't have fully automatic assault rifles right now. So I think that might come up at the end, but I don't remember. But Resident Evil 4 is cool. I had a moment of like, I was playing it and I thought, man, if I hadn't played this before, I wouldn't like this game, which was kind of a bummer, right? If I didn't have the appreciation for where it stood in like '04 when it came out, I would not enjoy playing that game, I don't think. Just because so many parts of it are like tedious or just silly. I think it generally plays well despite its controls. I think like the action in it is good. The weapons feel really good. Upgrading the weapons is like a good arc with each weapon. The way you kind of like can collect treasures and like slot treasures into other treasures if you hold on to them and then they're worth more. Like that stuff I think is really good. But there's just like there are parts of that game that are just like like everything that happens in the castle in a weird way I feel like is just kind of like dull, and like that first section, that opening section is so good, and then I think that the boss fight on the lake is like not good, and then as soon as like the village turns night and you go into chapter 2 early on in that game, you have to fight dogs, and the dogs are just terrible enemies. And most of the enemy types are, I think, very bad. Like I'm about to get to that guy at the end of RE4 where like he has like 4 weak spots on his chest, front and back, and you have to look at them through like the infrared scope, which I totally forgot about until I saw like when you're sitting on the start menu in that game, it like plays like a B-roll thing, and it shows that part. I'm like, oh fuck, I forgot about these enemies, and they're terrible and not fun to fight. And like so many things have like an auto kill attack, and I just hate that shit in video games. Like I hate things that will kill you instantly. So yeah, it's you know, I think Resident Evil 4 is still good, but there was just a realization for me personally that like I don't know if I would like this game nearly as much if I hadn't played it when I was younger and hadn't played it closer to when it was like mechanically relevant. But maybe that's just me. And the other thing, the last thing I've been playing, I haven't played like a lot of different games this week. But I played a lot of the games that I did play, which is good. That is how I prefer it to be. I continue to play Tales of Vesperia. I think I had more of a realization this week of like one of the things, if not the major thing that really ties that game together for me. So it's, you know, it's split into 3 acts of the story pretty much. Like each act has a villain, a main antagonist, and it's different for each part. It's if you were like to search what the actual nomenclature for that is, like part 1, part 2, and part 3 is how it is split up, not necessarily act 1 or whatever. And I like that there's no real delineation between them. Like at no point does it say like end of act 2, right? It just kind of transitions and you feel like a tonal shift of like, okay, that's like the end of this part of the story, and it feels like a definitive end. The real way you can tell is like all the party gets separated and they have to come back together. So I got to part 3, the final part of the game, and just like there's so much interplay between characters and things that are informed over like the previous 50 hours of those first 2 parts of that game that like really have an impact in the last part of that game. Like it feels like such a complete story. Like it feels like a series of books in a way. But it's all in one game, and like very few things give me that same sense of satisfaction like I think Kingdom Hearts does. Like I think Kingdom Hearts 2 has parts like that. And I think Persona 4 has parts like that. The 2 other favorite JRPGs and like my favorite games of all time list. And I think that's so cool. Like when you're like rebuilding your party at the beginning of part 3 and like something happened and people didn't know where Yuri, the main character, like where he was at, and just like meeting up with them again and seeing how their facial expressions, like how they react, how they talk to each other, and like that dialogue has evolved so much throughout just that game that like there's like a level of subtlety there that is so earned and executed on well, and like that's all of part 3 of that game for me, and I just really love it so much. It's just one of those things where it's like they built to something and then they got there all in the same game, which I feel like is very rare, especially by modern standards. They didn't have to have a sequel. Like Tales of Vesperia never needs a sequel. It's kind of got its 2 sequels in its own in like that one game, and I think that's really cool. But that's all I've been playing. Sorry, I had to rant for a second there. How do you guys feel about taking a break? Yeah, I could pee. My thought process every single time.
So impressive.
I know. I made it a whole hour. We're gonna take a quick break. When we come back, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. We don't really have a lot of news. I did pull one thing, but we don't have a lot. But I did get plenty of questions.
I got something.
And Nabashin's got something as well. And we also have a voicemail from Silver PR. I'm very excited to listen to, and we got bets to make. I'm proud of this week's bet. I came up with it, Nabashin. It's in there if you want to take a look at it before we get to it. But it's good stuff. Just saying. We got all that once we get back from break. So we will see all of you in just a little bit. now live. Welcome back, everybody. Let's hit the news button. News in gaming. Fuck Batman. That's the news. Hey, everybody. Welcome to news. Fuck Batman. Oh, really? Is that how you feel, Robin? I watched the most important relevant news from San Diego Comic-Con going on right now. I watched that Titans trailer upon Nobshin's request, and boy, not good. The only news story I pulled here, and I know Nobshin's got some as well, but Nathan Fillion, actor, Canadian, nice guy, starred in a Uncharted fan film put together this week, and he played Nathan Drake. It is like I think it's 14 minutes, maybe 15 minutes.
Is it that long?
Yeah, it's it's not that long. It's a very brief little Uncharted-esque story. Seems to take place sometime after 2, but before 3, canonically, if we were to work it into the canon. And I thought it was great. The only reason I really wanted to bring it up is because of how well made I thought it was. I don't watch a lot of fan film stuff. I know there have been a lot of things that have taken off. There's like a Mortal Kombat fan film series. I did watch one episode of that, and I thought it was very, very well made. Obviously, there's a pretty infamous Power Rangers fan film. I don't know if that was a series or if that was just one.
That was just one.
And obviously, Deadpool originated from a fan film type thing. And an Uncharted movie has been booked and listed by Sony for a very long time. It just hasn't made a lot of movement. I think Tom Holland is gonna last word was he was gonna play Nathan Drake. Which is,
for the movie, yeah.
Which is weird. I love Tom Holland. I just don't know if he could do that. But I really liked it. If you haven't seen it, I would encourage you to go seek it out. I'm sure if you search Uncharted fan film, you will be bombarded with links to it. I do. Let me pull up the director's name. But what was cool about it for me was I think they did a really great and subtle job with makeup to make Nathan Fillion look a little bit more like Nathan Drake. His nose was made a little bit bigger, I think, and most of all, there was a moment where like his hair was like really on point, as like this is what Nathan Drake's hair looks like. I don't know if you had this moment at all, Nabashin. But there's a point where they did like this very silly, like behind the back third person look, kind of like the game, which is very heavy handed, and I think like that's something that plays for a fan film that doesn't play in like a real film, but they were having fun with it. But there's a point where he's like leaning up against a wall, and just like the arc of like the way his hair comes together, like in a widow's peak, and the way he's like looking around, I'm like, this looks like fucking Nathan Drake right here. So again, there's a lot of really great attention to detail in making Nathan Fillion look like Nathan Drake, and I thought that was really cool. It was directed by Alan Ungar, which I have no idea who that is. But my biggest takeaway is like, in my head, Nathan Fillion is like perfect to play Nathan Drake, and he captured so much of like the mannerisms and the personality of that character in his own way. Like he brought his own thing to it. But he like there's a moment where he's like looking at documents and like kind of going on it like, this means this. I'm like, this is super fucking Uncharted right now.
Yeah.
And the way he kind of quips with bad guys is Uncharted, but also just kind of like the way he carries himself. Like he had a little bit more of a goofiness to him than I would say Nate does in the games. But like,
agreed.
It was just, he clearly like paid a lot of attention to a lot of what makes that character look and sound like Nathan Drake. Brought his own thing to it and did a really great job, I thought. You watched it also, Nabashin.
Yes.
What'd you think?
I thought they did a great job of it. Like if I had like a only like real complaint I really had with it was just like I thought the fights didn't look all that great. There's like that's like the nature of the beast, where it's like with a game you can actually like throw a punch at someone and they can actually hit them, and whereas like in when you're acting it out, like you can't really like do it that much. But like and like other than like Nathan Fillion being like a little bit more goofier than I feel like Drake would be, I thought they like as far as like nailing a character, I thought he got that down like super hard.
Yeah.
I was very impressed.
I don't know if I've seen a video game character adapted to a person as well as Fillion did Nathan Drake. Which isn't to say it was perfect, but I think it was damn near close. But yeah, it's good. It's good.
I'm still working on my thing, but did you want to talk about No Man's Sky?
Yeah, I mean, I have it in a little bit for the bet later on, but yeah, No Man's Sky is coming to Xbox One next week. But the big part of it is the next update, is what they're calling it. We've talked a little bit about the No Man's Sky for like the updates and what they've been doing with that game. Like I remember like the first major update that came out like over a year ago now was like the base building stuff. But No Man's Sky next, it almost feels like a whole new game. Like they're in a way, with its release on Xbox One for the first time, they are kind of treating it like a relaunch. And it's really cool for Scott and Tony. You guys might not be as familiar. The big thing that this update adds is multiplayer, of course. Another big thing.
I'm actually intimately familiar.
Okay.
Yeah, sadly familiar.
Okay.
We're a bad amount familiar.
Okay. I didn't know how much on this radar. How much on this?
I know of it, but I could not care less.
That's fair. As 4-player multiplayer, I guess like I'm not necessarily sure how the multiplayer will work, if it's really like, kind of like the conceptual multiplayer of the original No Man's Sky, where you kind of just find someone else. It seems like it's going to be a little bit more like y'all make a party and invite each other and hang out. But also like third-person mode, new ships, new everything, new quests. And the bigger part about that is after the next update launches on the 24th next week, they will be adding new content on a weekly basis. So weekly updates after that point. So events, missions, item rewards, things like that. And there will not be microtransactions. It's all just going to be free. And I understand, like, this game kind of burned its bridge with a lot of people, and I'm not necessarily saying this makes up for them putting the game out in the way it was, but it is cool to see a developer really stick with their guns on this. Like, really, they committed to, hey, we're going to make this game better. More so, we're going to make this game the game we promised it was going to be in a lot of ways. And they did that. I think they got there. It took them 2 years, but I think they did get there. And I think that's cool. Like there was no point where Hello Games was like, well, we give up. We're not working on No Man's Sky anymore. And I'm sure at some point in the future that will happen. Like they'll move on from No Man's Sky, but not until after this update releases and it becomes what people kind of imagine that game to be. I will also say, just looking at the trailers for that game, graphically they have enhanced that game quite a bit. It looks a lot better now than it did when it came out. Makes me morbidly curious to see how that looks on Xbox One X. I've been very curious about this game since this next update was announced. I've still never bought No Man's Sky. Maybe now's the time.
You never played it?
I played it. I never bought it. I played my brother's copy for about 2 hours.
Hey, just to that comment, it is literally never the time to spend $60 on No Man's Sky ever.
If I had a group, if I had a gang to roll with, I'd be more open to it. I don't know if that game is $60 though.
It's still $60.
Is it?
Like, listen, remember how I said I was a sad amount familiar?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's. I mean, like, at least it's more justified now than it was at launch. Because I know that there are people that still play that game. It's let me see. You can buy No Man's Sky on PS4 for $23 right now on Amazon, and it is full price $50 on Xbox One. Which is
It's
good.
full price on PC too.
$50 or
60.
okay, 60 is, I guess the PC is the only place where that is $60. But I want to know, because there has to be like a burgeoning small community of folks playing No Man's Sky still. I'm very curious, those people that have kind of stuck with it, like what they, I guess, like I just got to go to reddit.com/No Man's Sky really, because that's probably where it is. Like I want to know what their reactions to this, like as someone who's like only played a little bit of that game and the way it was at launch. I really have no strong opinion one way or the other of this. I think it's cool, but I want to know the people that have kind of been keeping up with the updates to that game and how they feel about it. I think that's where the story is. But I know a lot of IP folks have been more curious about No Man's Sky because of this. So I don't know. I still like it's one of those things. In theory, I feel like I would like this game, but again, I don't know if that lasts longer than 2 hours still. So what you got, Option? I see you just dumped a fuckload of text. I
just want to kind of play a game.
Sure.
More or less.
Let's play a game.
Not to like steal everything from every podcast that we ever fucking listen to, but like just like I just want to know what are like.
That's the name of the IP game, dude. Keep going.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I just want to know like just us as a group, like our thoughts for like what's our most desired for that month.
We're trying to make a desire index,
more or less, but just us and just for that month, because I don't want us to be here forever, and I don't want us to like really like get into it, because this is not really what it's about. I just want to know like if we could all just like come to a consensus of one game for like all of us, what would that game be?
Of like most desired for the next 5 months of the year.
For that month.
Okay.
So it won't be too much of a struggle or anything like that.
Fair enough. I don't know if I can ever come to a consensus with Scott.
That's why we're doing it this way.
Fair enough. Okay. So you have, in our Google Doc, you have laid out all of the major releases for the next 5 months: August, September, October, November, and December. Man, December, I'm gonna let you know, jam-packed with video games. It's 2 games. So we're gonna look at each month and pick our collective most desired game for that month.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Coming out in August, we have Overcooked 2, We Happy Few, World of Warcraft: Battle for Azeroth, Tony's most desired game ever, I know.
Mm-hmm.
Shenmue 1 and 2 Collection, and Yakuza Kiwami 2. Weren't you playing that, Option? Did I see you playing that?
The demo.
Oh, it's a demo. Okay, because Sega just sent me the thing like, hey, do you want to review this? I was like, did Nabashin get a review copy of Yakuza Kiwami 2? Just, he's got a guy on the inside. What, Tony, of this list of 5 games, what do you desire the most?
What do I desire? I don't know. My
games! Here's my thing. I think it is a travesty that the Irrational Passions quartet that we are, we've never played Overcooked together.
Scott and I haven't we, Scott?
We planned to, but we never got to it.
I mean, I own the game.
I do as well.
I don't. I'll be honest. I don't have anybody to play that game with.
Dude, I'm right here.
We'll add it. I'll add it to the Extra Life docket.
Alex O'Neill. Only time he plays video games with me, Extra Life.
It's true. That's not true. We played so much Destiny together. You can't even do that to me. What do you desire the most, Tony?
Out of those 5, I would say probably Overcooked 2, man. I had a lot of fun playing that game.
Yeah, you play that with your family, right?
I played that with Danny.
Danny.
Okay.
Yeah, with Danny, and I streamed it.
I remember that.
I don't. Scott, of this list of 5 games, what do you desire the most?
I'm gonna say Shenmue 2.
Shenmue 2.
Yeah, fuck Shenmue 1. Get that one out of here.
I'll say I'm very morbidly curious about the Shenmue games.
Well, that's the whole thing. I really don't care about any of the other 4 games on this list. But I played the first Shenmue before.
So
so at this point, I'm just curious.
Yeah, you just want to know what's up with Shenmue 2. I mean, like, what, the Yakuza team made the Shenmue games, right? The original Yakuza team? Is that right?
More or less, yes.
Okay. Have you played Shenmue 1 or 2, Nomshin?
I have not, no. Never played them.
What's your desire for Shenmue 1 and 2 remastered?
It's pretty high up there. Just more of a curiosity sake. Like, I could, like, literally just watch, what is it, the endurance run of Shenmue 1, but, like, I still haven't. I didn't do that because like I wanted to play it for myself. So
I would say I have a medium to high curiosity desire about Shenmue 1 and 2. I would say my most desired game is We Happy Few, which I know doesn't help us come to a consensus at all. But I mean, here's the thing: like, everyone shat all over that game when it was like revealed what it really was, when it went to like early access, even though it's changed from what that is. But like that game that it went into early access to become was like a roguelike. So it was like, all right, I'm in. I think it was definitely a roguelike with a lot of issues, but I only played it a couple hours of it, so I'm very curious to see how that game turns out. What's your most desired option?
Yakuza Kiwami too. No.
Could we compromise on Shenmue 1 and 2? Specifically Shenmue 2?
I would say like if we're comparing those two, like Yakuza would be a lot better.
I mean, yeah, but there's some desire going on around here.
You know what? I will give it up to Shenmue 2 because this is Scott we're talking about, and him desiring
literally
anything.
I was just gonna say, since we couldn't come to a consensus on anything, we should just scratch it. But okay.
There we go. Enough of us are sexually curious about Shenmue 2.
I was gonna give you an answer for every single one of these categories.
Here's the thing: this next one, September. This is what I want. I want the heat. Oh fuck! I didn't know The World Ends With You is coming out in September.
Yeah, you already know which one I'm going for.
Yeah, I did. So the games we have here for September, if we're gonna desire one of them the most: Dragon Quest XI, Spider-Man, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, Spyro Reignited Trilogy, Valkyria Chronicles 4, Life is Strange 2, or Season 2, Episode 1, and The World Ends With You Final Remix. Now, I know where Nobishin and Scott are here. God knows the two of you have been talking about this fucking game for 20 years. Tony, what do you desire on this list? Tony has unbolded and then rebolded Dragon Quest XI.
Hell yeah.
Do you desire Dragon Quest XI?
I would put it inside me.
Damn. I didn't know you were...
That's how desire works, right?
That is exactly how desire works. Y'all want to know something I don't desire, like remotely on this list? Spider-Man. I know that makes me a fucking blaspheme.
No, it doesn't. Spider-Man looks fucking dumb.
I don't think it looks dumb. I think it looks great. I just do not crave it like everyone else seems to. I don't know.
I'm waiting for that game to surprise me.
But you know what you do crave? You crave that Spyro trilogy.
I do. Don't get me started, man. I'm really excited to fucking spend another 40 hours of my year playing games from fucking 1996.
This is your problem. This is your problem.
I know it's my problem.
Desire all for the games under Spider-Man, which is Shadow. Okay, maybe not Shadow Spider, but it's kinda. But it's mostly Spyro,
Valkyria, Life is
and
Strange.
Life is Strange 2.
Yeah, I do desire The World Ends With You, though. Don't get me wrong. Like, I have been so curious about this game, I've just like never been able to get into it. I'm hoping that the Switch version
I should still have it.
Yeah.
If all else fails, and this version is a botch, I will lend it to you again.
Okay. I don't know if it's going to be a botch, though. I think this looks good.
You guys ever gotten so cold that your body starts thinking that it's warm?
Yes.
I put in a cooler and the freezer.
That's happening to me right now.
Tony, are you okay? Are you going into hyperthermic shock?
I don't know.
Tony's very cold. He changed the name of our Discord group call to "My Hands Are Cold." Hit me with what you're gonna say, Namashin.
Yeah, I was saying that's the thing about the World's With You that makes that not desired the most for me is just because I still even to this day don't know how that game's gonna control.
Fair enough.
For that game,
it did well enough when you played it without the dual screen because I have tried it before.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, it was fine.
The issue with it is what made this game basically. If we had this game out when we were doing the podcast, I'm pretty sure we weren't doing the podcast at this point. This would have been Game of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been it.
Scott's called shot like fucking Babe Ruth over here.
But I didn't play it the year it came out. I know that for a fact.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pretty sure we weren't doing the podcast then.
It was. We weren't. I think it was 2008, 2009? Does that sound
around
right?
2008, I believe.
Yeah.
2 years before IP existed. Here's the thing: it could win Old Game of the Year.
It could.
I'm excited to play it. Are you, Tony? Are you at all curious about the World Ends With You?
Passing interest.
Okay.
It's really good.
I'll say this. Personally, on my personal list, Life is Strange 2 shot right to the top after I played Captain Spirit. It was very much like a fuck. I remember how good this game was. How much it impacted me emotionally. That being said, I feel like there's enough collective interest for The World Ends With You.
My vote is for Dragon Quest 11, honestly.
Really?
Yep.
I have zero interest in that game. I don't know why. It's
honestly, that game could be I could completely bounce off of it, and I even kind of expected that, but I just kind of want to know that game, and that for me, as far as get interest and what I really want to give a shot to, it's gonna be Dragon Quest 11. Oh wait, Valkyria Chronicles 4 is on this list. Never mind, I want that game.
What the fuck are you saying right now?
I didn't see that. That was my fault.
You put it here. And to be fair, you did copy and paste it. It's less intimacy. I just feel like collectively the interest for World Ends With You is, if we're trying to create a collective desire index, that's probably going to be at the top.
Okay.
All right. I'll take passing interest. I mean, to be fair, September, it's got a little bit for everybody, man. We're all getting hit. If Tony's getting Dragon Quest 11 and Scott's getting The World That Ends With You and I'm getting Life is Strange and Namashi, you're getting Valkyria Chronicles, that's not even including Spider-Man, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, and Spyro that I know, Namashi, you and I will probably play all 3 of those games as well. But it's got a little bit for everybody, man. September's the big month this year. I'm probably going to buy all these games. I'm not going to buy Dragon Quest. Who am I kidding? But I might buy the rest of those games. October, Mega Man 11, Simply Perfect, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Super Mario Party, Disgaea 1 Complete, Call of Duty Black Ops 4, Battlefield V or 5 has come to, Soul Calibur 6, My Hero One's Justice.
Wow.
I know, I fucked it. I'm thinking My Hero Academia, and I'm just a mess. And Red Dead Redemption 2. Tony, I'm coming to you first again. What do you desire?
Soul Calibur 6,
Really?
and Super Mario Party.
I know. They're bringing Mario Party back. Finally.
Super Mario Party.
They're making it super, dude.
Straight up Soul Calibur 6. Let's go.
Soul Calibur 6 looks fucking good. No one here will argue that. Scott, what about you? What do you desire?
Off this list, it would have to be Soul Calibur 6.
Okay.
I kind of have no interest in anything else.
Yeah, this is like the not like the AAA games that like typically none of us love that much.
Yeah, I mean the other, I would have a passing interest in the Disgaea 1, but that series is just kind of okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sick burn. God. Yes. Suck on those eggs, Nabashin, you fucking nerd.
The way I see those games, and maybe it was just the two that I played, they put the grind in without any substance to it.
Dude, you're a Final Fantasy Tactics guy, man. You're either one or the other. No one likes both.
Well, yeah. There's...
It's true. Like, Nabashin doesn't play
true.
Final Fantasy Tactics. Scott doesn't like this guy. It's just this is the world we live in.
I don't think the mechanics of the system are bad, but there's very little on top of it. After you get the story quests done, that's kind of it. And they do the typical RPG mountain.
I like to climb mountains.
It's very, it kind of looks like a hill, and then there's a giant spike in your way, and you got to take forever to get over the spike, and that's about it.
Nabashin, I have a question for you.
What's up?
Do you get unreasonably frustrated when people say Geralt? Because I do.
Not unreasonably, but like
how many times do they have to say this in the game that it is happening in for you to understand that that's not how you're supposed to say it?
I mean, whenever like you hear Maximilian, like a guy I follow on YouTube, whenever he intentionally does that, it fires up the chat a lot. So like it's funny to me.
It can be a good bit. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I think it was like in front of you at Kind of Funny Prom, someone said Geralt, and I'm like, it's Geralt. Like, they say it. They say it in the game. They say it 1,000 times. And I can't. Like, I have zero patience for it. Anyway, Geralt looks real good in Soul Calibur 6. What are you desiring, Nabashin? I feel like this is a tough list for you.
It's between like Mega Man 11 and actually Soul Calibur 6 too, and Red Dead Redemption.
I know Red Dead's good. I knew Mega Man was going to be high for you. That was the thing.
Yeah. I have a passing interest in Assassin's Creed Odyssey. It's something I'm gonna play, but like what they showed at E3 was super impressive in my eyes. So, I'll probably go with Red Dead Redemption 2.
Here's the thing: Assassin's Creed Odyssey, against all odds, skyrocket #1 of my desired games on this list here of October. And like, it was a thing of, I played 33 hours of Origins, and I was like, cool, I'm good, fam. Like, bye-bye. I beat you. I'm done. I'm like, man, I'm excited. They're going to take another year off, and when I get whatever's like the iteration on Origins, it's going to be great. And they're like, we're doing another one. I'm like, fuck, I don't know if I got that in me. And I watched that demo, and I saw Cassandra out there kicking ass. I was like, man, I really want to play this. I don't know what it was. But I think there are some ways that they could very, like, subtly iterate on that formula, and I would eat that game up like comfort food, you know? Like, it would basically get all the things that I didn't like about it out and, like, just be a better version of that game, and I'm here for it.
Would you say that's the Syndicate team who did this one?
I don't know. It's so hard to tell with Assassin's Creed is the thing.
Yeah, I understand that. Like, I'm assuming the person who did Unity did Origins, so I'm assuming that
I feel like the folks that did Unity just kind of got eaten and dispersed into the rest of Ubisoft proper.
Maybe I don't know.
And that My Hero Academia game is probably not going to be good, but I'm excited that they're making a fighting game for My Hero Academia. It's like a true rite of passage for any fighting anime.
Tony's All Might main.
Yeah, Tony.
Yeah, dude.
Fucking bullshit All Might main.
I'm gonna delete you with All Might, dude.
Soul Calibur 6 for sure though. That is the irrational passion.
Second in power to only Big Zam.
Yeah, dude, Big Zam fucks.
He goes hard.
Oh shit, guys, look who it is. Big Zam.
Oh, Zam again. There's no way I could ever possibly Big Zam.
Big Zam is the best fighting game character of all time. We all know it.
Straight up.
But yeah, Soul Calibur 6 is definitely going to be the collective. I even have desire for that game. I haven't played a Soul Calibur since 2, and that game looks fucking good. It's got supers now. I'm here for it. It just looks great. I watched Sherrod play some at PAX East. That's a good game. It's a good looking game. November, lists are getting shorter. Hitman 2, Fallout 76, Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, and Darksiders 3. Where's the temperature at, Tony, with Fallout 76 right now?
I don't know. It's weird, man. Like, I just don't care about the Fallout series anymore after the last one.
I know, dude. I'm the same way. And it's like, I don't know if they did anything wrong. They might have. I feel like they could have made that game better, but it's weird because, like, I see people. I don't know if you're the same way, Tony. You're usually not like the FOMO kind of guy, but like I see people get way into Fallout 4, and I'm like, I wish I understood you. Like, Greg Blaney, friend of the show, played like 160 hours of that game and all the DLC, and I'm like, I couldn't.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what you're asking me.
Like, do you wish that you could have gotten into that game?
Oh no, I don't think I get that way.
Okay.
It's the DLC that's like I personally don't know really anybody who really got into the DLC. Like I remember
that was it.
Yeah.
It was
but like I mean like the game Fallout 4 I know a lot of people liked and like got really into, but it's like the DLC is like something that's like it seemed like everyone fell off of.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Fallout 76 is interesting, but I don't. It's one of those things. It's kind of like where I was with Black Ops 4, where I'm like, this is interesting. I don't need to play this. Like, you know. Scott, what's your temperature gauge? What do you desire on this very short list here?
Yeah, not a whole lot for this one either.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Do you have any? What is your most desired of the 4?
Not really. I mean, it's kind of between Pokemon Let's Go and Darksiders 3, but I was always lukewarm on Darksiders.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what Pokemon Let's Go is. I forget at this point.
It's the one where you don't fight wild Pokemon, you just fucking catch them like Pokemon Go. And
Pokemon Go on consoles.
Yeah, you're walking around. You can have a friend.
We're going with Darksiders 3.
You shake your Joy-Con to throw the ball to catch the Pokemans. But like Eevee's sitting up on your shoulder, and when you go into battle with Eevee, you like throw your arm out, and Eevee jumps off. It's real cute.
It's a remake of Yellow.
It's a remake of Pokemon Yellow. Jesse and James are in it. Anyway, yeah, Darksiders 3. Darksiders 3 is mine. There's a gameplay trailer that out. Looks a little rough, not gonna lie, but I'm still into it, man. The thing is, Darksiders 3 looks rough in the way that I can get behind. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's like my B tier game. It's a lot of the THQ Nordic games, I think, have a little bit of that vibe. Like Biomutant, I think, has a little bit of that.
Isn't it good to have that again? Just to have a game that's going to not necessarily blow you away, but like just a game that you could like, man, I could have fun with this game.
Yeah, dude, I just want to have fun. I just want to play Akiba's Beat and have fun. Sorry, I'm looking at a pile of games. I'm like, which one of these is a B tier game? And Akiba's Beat is just screaming at me visually. Yeah, I think those kinds of games are great. I think I think we need more of those. I think like in a lot of ways, like Shadow of War is kind of that game, and I think the Tomb Raider games in a weird way are kind of those games. They're better, bigger, more polished, bigger budget, but like Darksiders 3 visually looks great. I think it looks like it's gonna play well. What's your desire option? I assume it's Hitman, right?
Yeah, because it's either between that and Pokemon Let's Go, but like I do enjoy Hitman a lot, so Hitman would be my list.
Okay. What about you, Tony?
Hitman.
All right, well, I guess we got 2 winners. Congratulations, Darksiders 3 and Hitman.
Sure.
2 for 2. Those are two like games that I'm excited for us to talk about. I feel like not a lot of people are going to be talking about those games at the end of the year. Probably a lot of people talking about Hitman, or at least a good amount, but December, it just has 2 games in it. I mean, obviously, Tales of Vesperia Definitive Edition is probably coming out in December, and no other games matter. But right now, it doesn't have a release date, so we don't have to fight about it right now.
Why did it be December?
Because they said winter.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then they doubled down on it being 2018, winter 2018. So like literally no other month technically takes place in winter this year. So, but right now it's just Cause 4 and Super Smash Brothers Ultimate.
Smash Bros.
Dude, I'm hankering for a smashing. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, Scott?
I have no
dude.
idea what the fuck you're talking about.
Waluigi is here.
Everyone is here. Waluigi is here, and he's here to fuck and smash.
Aren't those the same thing?
I do. Nabashin, as a resident Just Cause player, where are you at with Just Cause 4?
I kind of bounced off Just Cause 3, so probably not play 1, play 4, or at least I'll rent it.
Okay. Right now, the Irrational Passions Desire Index looks like Shenmue 2, The World Ends With You Final Remix, Soul Calibur 6, Hitman 2, Darksiders 3, and Smash Bros. Ultimate. Those are some desired games coming out in the latter half of this year.
If we out of those winners, would we all say Smash? I'm just curious.
Yeah, what of those games, what is your most desired? Tony.
Probably of every game.
No, of those quote unquote winners.
Okay, about the winners. Probably, honestly, Hitman 2, probably.
Okay.
Nice.
That's a good
the
pick.
winners, it's gonna be Smash.
Okay.
Yeah, it would be Smash, honestly.
Man, Irrational Passions, it's not quite announced yet, but we recorded something Super Smash Bros. Related this last week, and it got me real fucking hyped for Smash again. But I would say, I would give proper props to Darksiders 3 as well. I'm just very excited that game gets to happen. I was convinced it wouldn't for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Smash Bros. Everyone is here. That was fun. Thanks for bringing that in here, Nabashin.
Yeah.
You guys wanna answer some questions?
Do it up.
I'll answer some questions.
I'm excited for you, Tony Horvath, to answer some questions.
Mm-hmm.
This first one we got was actually for Scott, though.
Okay.
Remember, you can tweet your questions at IrrationalPod. Just use the hashtag IPQ. I think everyone did this week. I'm very excited. It made it so much easier to find them. This one comes from at the Sigma Omega, Justin Graffius himself, friend of the show.
Hey.
Says, this is mostly for my boy Scott. Hey Scott, how's it going? Hopefully everything is good. Hey buddy, I've been having dark thoughts lately. They are making me want to buy some LaCroix and try others. I need your help to save me from these thoughts. Thanks ahead of time. What do you got for him, Scott?
Do anything else, dude. Do anything else.
But what,
Okay, so, last time we tried it.
Mm-hmm.
We both said we would rather have plain seltzer water.
Okay.
That's something that I had, at the very least, said to you.
You said it to everyone, I think.
Probably. I do remember saying to everybody that I don't understand why you like LaCroix.
LaCroix is pretty
good.
good.
Add-on to that. I think there's an add-on to that. I'm 95% sure there's an add-on to
I mean, I feel like there doesn't need to be. LaCroix is bad, maybe?
Oh, no. This was something that was mean, but also a joke.
Okay.
I forget what it was at this point.
Fair enough. I want to check in with our resident LaCroix boy, Brian Nobishin Jackson. How much LaCroix are you consuming on a daily basis right now?
I still drink it at least like maybe 3-4 cans a day.
Damn.
Like I said, I'm a drinker.
True.
And to be clear, like I don't really think LaCroix is great or good, but it's just good. It's a substitute. It's a better substitute for me than drinking like sugary drinks or soda. So
Yeah. Here's the thing. So I started drinking LaCroix, just whatever, and then I was like, I prefer regular seltzer water, and then I just stopped buying that and started buying soda again, and now I'm just a terrible piece of shit again. So it's a double-edged sword, everyone. Justin, it's a double-edged sword. Maybe fizz drinks will just get you back onto that good trip of that
Yeah,
Fizzy
high
lifting drink.
fructose.
I guess at the same time, I don't really care for soda much anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I have my few flavors of soda, but if it's not those like few flavors, I will opt for almost anything else.
What's your number one with a bullet?
Well, that's not interesting. It's always been root beer.
Okay, root beer's a good answer.
My number
Then.
2 is the various flavors of cream soda.
Okay,
Did you know
That's
I
a
had
good
a
pick.
peach cream soda?
damn, that sounds all right.
It's really good.
Shit, that's good shit. This next question comes from Mike Burgess, whose current Twitter name is Mike Dopath Traveler. Mike's always out there with his brand name. You gotta appreciate him. At Mike Hits the Wall on Twitter. Everyone should follow Mike Burgess because he's a fucking gift on social media. I know, Nobishin, you're scorched earth off Twitter now, but you gotta agree, Mike Burgess had that shit figured out.
Mm-hmm.
He says, what would you say are some games you likely won't ever play that everyone will obsessively tell you to play, regardless of how many times you say not interested? I'd say one for me would be Tales of Vesperia, you fucking nerds. That's fair, Mike. I love you, man. You know I do. Big Mike. You should play Tales of Vesperia, though.
Yeah, you should probably play that.
That's a really great question. Because I feel like you got like 30, Nobishin. I feel like everyone tells you to play shit, and you're like, I'm actually good.
It's more tell me to watch it, and I just never do.
Yeah, well, I mean, who's got time for that?
A lot of that comes from me too.
Yeah. But like I feel like Scott,
Well,
you
here's
suggest
the real
better
question
stuff.
is, what is my cut of the pie on that? Because I know I'm real passive with it, but I do tell you to watch a lot of shit.
I would say an eighth. One pie slice.
If anyone if there's any suggestion, I would take yours more seriously than I take most people, Scott. But it's just I just don't watch fucking anything. that's just me.
Damn straight, man. Me either.
But if I ever get around to it, it'd be like, oh yeah, Scott did mention the Luchador or whatever that thing is called, and I was like, I should watch that or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
The Luchador, I think the only thing that even comes close.
It was the last thing you recommended me. I can't remember what it's called. I have Lucha Libre in my mind for some reason.
Gravity
do you mean
Falls?
OKKO?
Yes, there you go. Thank you.
KO, yes.
Yeah, it's the closest thing to that. There is another good one coming out. It's called Vince and Vincent, I think.
And now I gotta Google this.
It's one that's on the radar.
Mm-hmm.
Scott, what's a game that everyone is obsessed with that you will probably never play? And is it Grand Theft Auto 5?
No. It's when I say my statements as straightforward as plainly
Mm-hmm.
and as I do, so people don't push.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because so generally,
we love.
Yeah, exactly. That's why we love you.
generally, I think the last
Of us.
time it happened, I gave.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's Hollow Knight right now, but it's like you guys don't really push it.
Because we know you and we like you and
Right.
and we're your friends. like you know, like
I mean, don't get me wrong. I also think Hollow Knight's a good idea.
Mhm.
So that's something that I should add to my list of things to get around to.
yeah,
But I mean, like, I gotta make good on both Blossom Tale and Into the Reach first.
yeah, and that's fine.
Did you just fully drop Ni no Kuni now? I'm just curious.
At this point, I think so.
Mhm.
Okay.
As you get into the game, as the earlier parts of the game are kind of just the better portion,
Okay.
Right.
because the game doesn't get more interesting as you progress through it. It's the same. They don't add anything particularly new to it, so it's kind of a bummer in that regard.
Yeah.
Generally, it's you get a third of the way through the game, you get used to the game's relatively simple mechanics, and then they add another layer on top of it. Generally, it's not that much, but that's how it worked in Ni no Kuni 1, and they did that several times in Ni no Kuni 1. And in this game, it just doesn't happen.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure I'm close to the end of the game.
like Ni no Kuni 1 has like something similar to like what I was talking about with Tales of Vesperia earlier, like where it's like a lot of stuff that like comes together and pays off in the end, both mechanically and narratively. It doesn't seem
and
like 2
in
has
this
that.
game, no.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, it starts off fairly good,
Mhm.
but as you progress past Gold Paw, it drops hard.
Okay. But yeah, I think like Scott, one of the things I love about you is just that when I'm like, hey, you should play this, you're like, I'm not gonna play that, and it's like, okay, like you know,
And
there's
it's like when I say, yeah, I'll try and get around to it. It's like,
yeah, exactly. When you get like that small, like not even really a real victory, it's cool. What about you,
I try
Tony?
to make good on my word, though.
You do. Certainly better about it than I am. What about you, Tony?
I echo Scott's opinion in all things.
I mean, come on, give me some originality here. What's something that everyone will play and obsessively tell you to play, but you're just not interested?
World of Warcraft.
Except you were interested, so I feel like
Yeah, but not anymore.
that's what I.
League of Legends.
Yeah, right.
See,
Gotcha.
That's the funny thing. There is a small group of people trying to get me to play,
Mm-hmm.
and like as I did my thing in saying no the way I do,
Yeah.
they kind of never ask again.
Nice.
I honestly, like, I don't know, I'm the type of person that I don't really have that kind of game. If someone asks me to play something with them, I say when.
Yeah.
So sure.
Sure.
So
Time and place, baby. Hit me up, fam.
Well, what about single player games?
I play them.
Right.
Someone's like,
I
I
play.
don't know, like
I dabble.
Scott was like, hey, you should probably check out Ni no Kuni 2. I said, okay, and I bought it.
And you played the first hour, and then you stopped. Yeah.
And I was like, this is not for me.
Yeah, that's fair.
Ding Dong Dell's pretty fucking dumb still.
Fucking
Yeah,
hater.
no. It's not very good in this game.
Hey, man. Sure, Ding Dong Dell in the first game was really good, though.
I don't know. Have you guys even played that since? Like, I thought I was the farthest in that game.
No, I'm definitely the
No,
farthest
Scott
from
like
the
played way more hours.
Yeah, it was Scott played more, but Alex, did you even touch it again?
No, I did. I went
Fuck, why are you judging me?
I went past those first couple of like battles.
No, you got around to Gold Ball, didn't you?
I went into that town, but I didn't.
I got to after the first time you command armies.
Yeah, I got after that. I played after that. What about you, Namashin? I'm really curious. Like, I gave you some time to think. I know you got a lot for this, or I feel like you
I don't know. Like, there's not really like people really push on me because like everyone already knows that I'm not really into multiplayer games, so no one really asked me to play those type of games. I'm not sure. I really can't really think of anything. Like, usually if it's single player, like I give it a shot, and like no one really asked me to play like the Bethesda games. Even though I'm not really into those like Elder Scrolls and stuff like that. So like I don't know.
You played Skyrim, right? You gave it a
No,
shot.
I've never touched Skyrim.
Wow. Namashin, you should play Skyrim. should at least check it out.
I feel I can kind of echo this. I wouldn't say like buy it. I would say hey, give this like 15 minutes so you can justify not trying it out.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. So you can like know for sure, boy, this is not my thing. For
You don't
me,
need it, and I don't think you should pay for it yourself.
yeah, I'll lend you a copy. We're forcing this on you. For me, I don't know.
answer Skyrim.
Yeah, I feel like no one really at this point. I've at least like burned the bridges with the people that would try and force me to play something. Like you know, Tony makes me a new video game recommendation every other week.
Not true. More like every other month.
Yeah, but with the expectation knowing that I probably won't play it. But every now and again, like we'll have a hit, like Stardew Valley. You know, both you and Scott made me play that, and that was absolutely worth it.
I think like if it's a game that I know you're gonna like, I'm a little bit more like, hey,
yeah,
you should play this.
Yeah, you are more, you know, Doki Doki Literature Club, and
that one was less of a. I thought it was like, okay, Alex might like this. I know Scott's not gonna like it. I don't know where Nomishin is on this, but everyone needs to at least see
I ended up liking it the most out of the three of us. So
yeah, true.
But like Undertale, obviously in that camp. Although there's more Scott pushing that, but like you know, it's a thing of like when I know you guys are bringing something to my attention, I know it's something I got to check out, or at least it is.
Too.
It's a higher priority. Yeah.
Undertale was one of those games where if the game was kind of ruined if you were being rushed through it because somebody told you had to play it.
Yeah, exactly.
So
that was a thin line to tote.
But it's a lot.
Yeah.
Like it's so weird. I don't.
You couldn't try to convince somebody to play it without ruining it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so weird. Like I don't even know what really drove me to like even get it after you recommended it so much, but like, or even talked about it so much. I said, but like, I guess because like it was. I guess you were so enthusiastic.
It was the first time I think Scott said, "Hey, you have to play this." To us,
yeah.
Like to you and I think that was like the big thing of like, game of the year is coming up. You guys have to play this. Like, I don't care, just play it.
Yeah.
And that doesn't happen often. And again, that's what makes the recommendation has more weight because it doesn't come every fucking 3 minutes like Twitter. It's just an endless stream of like, what are you doing? I'm doing this. I would say like, but there are plenty of games where I'm like, cool, I know this isn't for me, right? Like last year, Sonic Mania was kind of like that, you know? Right now, Octopath, like I have zero interest in playing Octopath. Like I played enough of that game to know like, you know, this is touching on some things that will probably please a lot of people, but they're not things that I would lean heavily on. And Spider-Man is kind of like right there for me. Like that's the one that everyone is so excited for that I just like, I'm excited for, but I'm not like super expecting. I'm not expecting much, and part of that's probably because I got burned by God of War. You know, like I played that game and everyone's like. We talked about last week. Like, people were saying that is the best video game ever made up until this point, and then it's just like so not the experience I had with it.
I do think Spider-Man is slightly different though because it's like it's not one of those.
It's totally not one of those types of games, and I have more faith and interest in it because of its Insomniac. But like nothing about everything that's been shown in that game has grabbed me in any specific way.
Sure.
That's all I mean. I'm not saying it's not going to be great. It could very well be. But
I didn't mean that either.
Purposes, I think I at least have to try.
Yeah, and that's a big thing for me too. Like, I gotta try it.
Like you are hyping the Spider-Man 2 train.
Yes.
Yeah. That's what you were doing. Making sure I had the right person.
Yeah.
And then I played the bad early one.
Yeah. You played Spider-Man 1.
Spider-Man 1 and some of the ones before it.
Yeah. Spider-Man 2 I liked a lot, and it's funny, like I know everyone is talking about like, oh, I just had to feel the web slinging and make sure it felt good. Like, I'm sorry guys, I need more than that right now. Like I believe that the web slinging in Spider-Man is going to be great, but like that is not enough to get me excited about that game. And maybe that just shows how ruined I am as a person. But yeah, I don't know. The last time I guess people were like yelling at me that a game was better than I thought it was GTA 5. I burned some fucking bridges with that game.
Sure, it wasn't Wolfenstein.
Wolfenstein was also what was coming to mind, but like I feel like 'cause I had such a great conversation with Logan Moore, who loved that game, and like I was like, hey, here's why I didn't love it, and he's like, here's why I did love it, and it was like difference of opinion, but I totally understand where you're coming from, and vice versa. So it was like I had good closure on that. So, and now I've got you in my court to when Wolfenstein 3 comes out to tell me like, hey, just don't buy the game. You don't have to play it.
Right.
So, I'm sort of there with Red Dead 2 also. Like, I just like I haven't even been able to muster a care to give that game, which I know sucks, but it's just like I have no history with that game. And I'm in a spot where I'm like not super into any kind of Rockstar game. So, that's a great question though, Mike. Thank you for sending that in. Andrew Taylor at Papa Drew Bear on Twitter says, how rad was it that we beat Resident Evil 5 this week? It was pretty rad, Andrew. I had a great time. Nicole at NMH2105. She did warn me that she might be a little drunk when she sent this tweet. Some typos in here, I'm gonna let y'all know. She says, I'm currently at the SF#F Giants Stadium for the Sevens Rugby World Cup, and I hate baseball, so never thought I'd be here. Where is a place you never thought you would be, but ended up because of your love of an entirely different thing? Huh. I don't know. Here's one weird example. I know. I ended up, with Tony and Scott in Chickadee, grilling.
Dude. I almost was in Chickadee again recently.
Oh shit! We were grilling and making crabs and having a great time, and like I am not like boat life, island boy life. I know I joke about it on Twitter sometimes, but like it's not my scene. And then, we ended up there, because we wanted to do our thing for senior week when we graduated. And then we were fucking calling out tactical shots on the TV screen for Might and Magic Clash of Heroes.
It was pretty sweet.
It was like, yeah, you know what? I'm here because I love these two guys. And we had a fucking great time playing video games until 4 a.m.
Gotta do that again at some point.
We should. The thing is, so like, I know you guys don't follow Easy Allies, but they do this thing every summer now called Easy Livin', where they go and rent out a beach house and do like a 50-hour live stream.
Damn.
I don't necessarily think we'd have to do that, but I think if we did like a Extra Life Light type thing where we all went to a beach house and did like maybe like a charity stream or some big fun video games thing, I think we would have a great time. Scott's gotta get better internet down there, though.
The internet down there got better over the years.
Okay.
We do not pay for internet down there because for the past like 3 or 4 years, I guess I'll just go ahead and talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
The past 3 or 4 years, the guy next to us had basically their dock break. Their land is washing out from under them.
Oh, damn.
And we just recently found a solution so that wouldn't affect us.
Okay.
So that's been going on for like 4 years. So we've had to constantly rebuild our dock and redo our concrete, which was been a huge headache, which is why I'm often off at Chickadee for pretty much no reason.
Yeah.
Is because we need help down there, or at least I needs help keeping up the place.
Yeah, I gotcha. There you go. Well, that's my answer. What about you, Nomshin?
I have nothing like that. I can't even think of it.
I feel like New York City for Kingdom Hearts. Like, I feel like 2 times. They got you, man. I don't know. I wouldn't say you hate New York City, but you ended up in a place you never thought you would be because of a love of a different thing, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Well, are you big on traveling?
I don't mind it. Like I love driving. Yeah, but yeah, like I like traveling. I like traveling a lot.
Because that might not work.
Yeah, I mean, all you gotta do is drive to Boston once to know you never want to do it again. Tony knows what I'm talking about.
Dude, it wasn't that bad.
It wasn't that bad, no. What about you, Tony? Is there a spot you ended up and you never thought you'd end up there, but you did because of a totally different thing that you love?
I don't know. That's deep.
It is deep.
It's deep.
It's a difficult question. Nicole bringing out the introspective side of us while she's fucking somewhere drunk in San Francisco. Shout out to Nicole Humphrey.
In a way, it kind of like the whole like Las Vegas thing was all not at all based on, you know, at least anything other than the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Through connections through the podcast, I ended up over there.
Yeah.
And that was like, you know, until like 2 months before I left, I had no inkling of ever doing that.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it super fits the question, but I think that whole adventure in my life is a pretty good, you know, is about as close to that question as I get.
Yeah, I think that's a fair answer. Do you have one, Scott?
No, he doesn't.
No.
Not particularly.
Yeah, I get that.
It doesn't really fit the question, but it would also kind of be the Atlanta trip.
Yeah.
Because I'm not into traveling. The recent trip to Seattle confirmed that all the more.
Fair.
So yeah, I basically without you guys, I wouldn't have gone there.
Sure. That was fun too. Even if getting there was a whole fucking ordeal. Once we got there, we had a good time.
Whatever, man. That was great.
It was like very much like was it after we graduated high school?
Yeah.
Yeah, it must have been. Yeah, it had to have been. It was the summer after. It was kind of like one of our like post high school. You know, we have a post high school road trip story basically, and it's fun, even if it was where we met Nobishin. You know,
it was great, dude.
It was really.
Wasn't it a Walmart we picked him up?
Hell yeah, dude! A Walmart parking lot.
What's up, dude?
It was also like where the bridge with Evan Wall started to burn.
Yeah, straight up. Like his dad started hating us, and from there it was all over.
Yeah, dude. Nah, that's cool. Evan texts me once every 2 months and says, "Hey man, how you doing?" I'm like, "I'm good, dude. How are you?" And he's like, "I'm good." And that's it. That's the whole thing. He's like, "We should hang out." And I'm like, "Yeah, we should. Let me know." And we don't. That's it for Twitter questions. Thanks to everybody that tweeted in your questions. I appreciate all of you so much. We did get a voicemail though from Shaboy Silver PR. He says the text of his voicemail in his email that he sent it in with was 2 words: The Conjuring. So I feel like we might be getting a little spoopy.
Is this like about to be D&D?
I don't know if D&D was what he was referencing or the movie The Conjuring.
Nonsense.
Probably.
What up, guys? Silvio out here. I hope everybody's doing all good and well. Here in my room with my boys. They're watching TV, so don't mind the background noises. They're just rowdy from time to time.
You're good.
Not too much to talk about video games. Pretty much like just the same FIFA 18 and also a little bit of Call of Duty Black Ops 3 single player campaign because I'm taking advantage of the Plus thing. And you know, it's just Call of Duty uneventful single player campaign like always. So it is what it is. I just go through those and just ignore the multiplayer, and because I cannot play multiplayer because of residential issues. So anyway, short story. I was watching Crunchyroll the other day because I was catching up with My Hero Academia, and also I was watching this other anime that I was seeing on their ads was called Judy Tai's and Zodiac War. Seriously, guys, don't watch that anime. It's just 12 episodes of anime time wasted. The ending is just bad, just real bad. I didn't like it, my opinion. But aside of that, on Monday, I was watching some of that anime, and it was giving me this ad all the time, because the free version gives you ads, and it was the Nun teaser trailer. Every freaking time, I think I was seeing it like for like 4 hours straight of anime that I was watching, and I was like fed up with the whole thing. I mean, I never was exposed to The Conjuring. I know what it is a little bit because of the trailers and whatnot, but never got the time to invest on what really was about that franchise. And I know that it got the spin-offs and everything. And for some reason, I just decided, you know what? Fuck it. It's my graveyard shift. I'm alone in this lobby, doing 8 hours of nothing sometimes. Let's just watch Conjuring movies. Why did I do that to myself? I don't know. But I liked it. It messed up with my head and gave me a lot of fucking goosebumps. Especially the Conjuring ones. Annabelle was a little bit off for me. Because I watched the second Conjuring. Maybe I should have just go with the chronological order that the movies were released. Even though they're not, timeline chronologically. But I'm now so fucking invested on the Conjuring universe. And, looking forward for The Nun, even though it's so fucked up. But, after watching The Conjuring 2, I now want to watch The Nun. And also, I think the other day they announced that Annabelle 3 is going to take place between Conjuring 1 and 2. So, knowing what actually the Annabelle doll represents in this whole saga, I'm curious if the Warrens, that are like the characters from the main characters from The Conjuring,
this is like what it's like to hear us talk about Kingdom Hearts.
Because the nun and the doll are two different demons and not the same. So, looking forward for that. But man, take 2 nights, watch Conjuring 1 and 2, and then take the second night and watch the Annabelle movies, and like, why did I do that to myself?
That's fucked up, dude.
So, as a quick question before I leave, it's like, what thing you have done to yourself, video game wise or movie wise, like at some point, and then at some moment, you realize about your bad choices in life, and you say like, why did I did this to myself? It could be like the worst decision or the most recent one, doesn't matter, just give me a story. So like, yeah, that's pretty much mine, and I'm just gonna leave you with all this background music and noise of my kids. So without further ado, have a fun one, have a happy weekend. So PR signing out.
Thank you, Silver PR. As always, great to hear from you. That's a good story. I feel like, and I'm sure Tony, you fucking know this. I've just spent nights going down the Wikipedia rabbit hole sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
Where it's like, this was like at the end of it, it's 4:30 in the morning, and I've been reading Wikipedia for 2.5 hours, and it's like I made fucking mistakes.
No, you didn't. That was all excellent time invested.
Yeah, dude. Let me tell you about all this Lord of the Rings lore that I've read about, like a fucking nerd. Different kinds of like godlike creatures in that universe. Video games wise, I'm trying to think of like a series I invested in that was definitely a mistake. I don't have a lot because I don't necessarily. If I don't like one thing, I will typically not pursue the rest of it.
Can I answer this question?
Yeah, hit me with it.
Kingdom Hearts.
I know that's what you were going to say.
That's never a mistake.
Absolutely,
It was a mistake. Every time I've tried to play that game again, I am reminded why it's trash.
Listen, man, you have your opinions, we have ours. Yeah, I don't know. Here's one. It was a morbid curiosity that led me to playing this 60+ hour game and then fucking hating it. Not hating it, but being so frustrated with it. Ark-Rise Fantasia was a game for Wii. I have a review up on the site. One of my most scathing reviews. Game with a lot of cool ideas, terrible execution, terrible localization. Ugh, voice acting so bad. God damn. I'll also do a thing where I like.
There is a game that has bad voice acting that you can't stand.
Oh, dude, it's true. Like, I make a lot of jokes about how I have a fucking lenient policy for voice acting, and I do. Don't get me wrong, I definitely do. But boy, Arcry's motherfucking Fantasia, I could send y'all some links, some videos. But also I do a thing where like I buy a lot of Pokemon games and I never play them. I gotta stop doing that. I don't know why I keep doing it. It's not. I don't dislike Pokemon. I think I'm just generally over it. I bought Pokemon Crystal for the 3DS. I'm never gonna play that game. I bought it like a month ago, and I don't know why.
Yo, wait, what the fuck?
Yeah, dude. I played like the first 5 minutes, and I was like, man, this game's so slow. Anyway, I'm never playing this. What about you, Scott? Do you have like a video game rabbit hole that you regret deeply?
Well, so that's the thing. It's every time I know a game's gonna hook me, it's like I'm going to turn this into a rabbit hole that was never there.
Okay, I like that.
So there's a few select times where I went ahead and I did it anyway, knowing that it was a bad time for it.
Yeah. What's an example?
I think a good example is when
Bravely Default.
Not Bravely Default. A Link Between Worlds came out.
Mm-hmm.
You remember how fast I finished that?
That's true. You fucking blew through that game.
I blew through it so fast.
I tried to savor it like a well-made steak.
It was like, what, 3 days?
3 days at most that you beat that game.
Yeah.
It took me like 2 weeks, but you were like, nah.
Yeah,
dude.
I was hurting for that one.
It was a good game, though. I don't blame you.
It was a really good game.
Yeah. One might even
But
call it
that
the
is-
best game of the year, 2013. Irrational Passions might say that. Who knows? The same year that The Last of Us came out. I just want to throw that out there. Whatever. Nabishin, do you have an answer for this?
I'm sorry, I just stepped away for a second. What was the question?
Silver PR's question was, is there a... Because he got way deep into the Conjuring series of films and world and universe and lore. Is there any like rabbit hole series or of video games or movies or whatever that you fell into that you deeply regret?
Or like me, or wrong time. Good game, good decision, wrong time.
Long time for it, yeah.
That's probably Bleach.
Oh yeah, dude, it's so Bleach. Oh man,
I don't regret starting it. Because
you certainly regret ending it though.
You regret how you finished it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it was just a big spit in the face. Like I said, like if there's anything I would speak negatively of in this world, that's just one of the things. But like
short list, Bleach is up high. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, pretty much.
Man, yeah, that's a good one. I was talking about reading a lot about Lord of the Rings lore on Wikipedia. A lot of Wikipedia rabbit holes I go down that I regret. They're fun at the in the moment though. You're just hanging out in your boxers, eating frozen pizza, reading Wikipedia. It's a good time. That's a good question though. I'm not a huge horror movie guy, so like there's only like 2 horror movies I like. I can't think of one, but my all-time favorite horror movie is John Carpenter's The Thing. It's a phenomenal film. Great use of puppets. And it's still pretty scary. I think like it's not like jump scary, which I like. I don't like, but it's on like a psychological level. I think it's really cool. I want to let you all know, 3 of you know, I'm now caught up on My Hero Academia, the anime.
Oh, fine. So yeah, hold on. Do you remember our conversation we had?
Yeah.
Was were you right or was I right?
You were right. It did not play out in the way I thought it would.
It played out real good.
But guys, fuck. That show is so good. It doesn't have any right to be as good as it is. Like, objectively, one of the best shows on television, period. Like, not... Dude. I'm not even comparing it to other anime. It is in a tier of itself.
Dude, Midoriya, the type of boy to, like, you already know what's gonna happen, but you're rewatching it. That boy still tries so hard, makes you cry.
It makes you fucking cry so hard. That fucking.
It's like the happy cry of like, look at this boy. He tries so hard and do so good.
And you're like, I feel you.
You're
I
like,
feel your pain,
Midoriya, let's get it,
dude. Fuck. But like that, the scene. I don't know what's the most recent episode for you guys versus like the English dub one that I'm watching. The scene, it was like when they all moved into the dorms.
Yeah.
The scene at the end of that with Sue is like, you don't get this in anime. Like this genuine, earnest.
You don't get that in most shows, period.
Yeah, and it's like channeling the stuff about Persona that I love a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Of like really caring about these relationships and like this genuineness of like none of the characters come across as like disingenuous, and it's like that's so true to that person's character. It's also like a thing that like would totally be brushed aside in like some filler episode, but like it is like a main plot point here, and that show's fucking so good. If you don't watch My Hero Academia, you need to change it. I caught up, you can too. This is my self-help book titled My Hero and Yours Too. That is the show proper. Thank you everyone for tuning in. If you'd like to be a part of this show, just like Silver PR was, just like all those wonderful tweeters were, tweet your questions at IrrationalPod with the hashtag IPQ. You can leave us a voicemail at 404-590-1337 if you'd like to leave us a voicemail, or you can send us an email. The email address is mailsack@irrationalpassions.com. For everything else, Irrational Passions, you can follow us on social media at IrrationalPod on Twitter, Irrational Passions on Instagram. George Cruz does a lot of work there and makes a lot of really great videos and images and stuff just for social media. I would say of our tier of website of like a small independent video games website, the Irrational Passions social media is the best in my humble opinion. And it's all thanks to George Cruz. So you should go follow us there. Some other stuff, rate and review us on iTunes and Stitcher and Google Play. Check out our other shows, Input and Get Acquainted. One is a one-on-one interview show hosted by myself. The other is a video game news and culture show hosted by the editors of IrrationalPassions.com, not including myself. And for everything else, Irrational Passions, including all of Scott and Quinn and Mike and George and Jarrett and Logan's work, IrrationalPassions.com. I hear some sizzling. I think I know what time it is. We've reached that time of the show. It's time for bets. I love that subtle build-up, Tony. This week's bet. No Man's Sky Next comes out next week. The update. Now, on Xbox One, it'll be all included on the disc. But on PS4, what will the file size for the free update next patch be on that console?
Oh, this is a good one.
I don't even know what the file size for No Man's Sky is, like the base game. I have no fucking idea how big this patch is going to be. So I did zero research, and I figured that's going to make it way more fun.
So it's not the size of the patch, it's the game after the patch.
No, it's the size of the patch. I'm just saying, like, for point of reference, I don't even know the size of the game.
How will you find the answer after this?
I have it on PS4. I will download the patch myself if I have to. I'll seek it out if I can. If not, I'll download it myself. Yeah, when you guys are ready, you can throw them up in the chat.
Shit.
Dang, that was there's a lot of characters.
I think he means point.
Yes, I did.
Ooh, this is a good spread, actually. So I said 3.8 gigabytes.
Oh, yours is not in here.
I know. I'm telling you that because I wrote it on my note here. Scott said 6 gigabytes. Nabishin said 7.8 gigabytes. And Tony said 5.6 gigabytes. This is good. I genuinely have no fucking idea what this is going to be.
I'm guessing somewhere around 5.6 gigabytes.
I feel like that's a good bet. I feel like we all got a good bet here. I was on the low end, which I figured I might be, but who knows? What if it's like 240 megabytes? It's like
they just like flipped a switch.
Yeah,
I've been in here the whole time.
The game was complete the whole time. Fucking nerds.
Be the worst PR move ever made.
Oh, dude, for sure. I love it though.
If I remember right, I think No Man's Sky was like an incredibly small game. That's what like people.
Yeah,
I
remember being like not that big. So I feel like we were all in the relative.
I don't know. I remember it's something like 10 gigs.
Okay, I feel like in the grand scheme of modern games, that's not that big too.
Because I remember a complaint being like, "That's a small size for a game that's supposed to be like infinitely big or something like that." Or I don't know.
No Man's Sky PS4 file size.
All that storage is supposed to be server based, I believe.
On day one, it was 3.4 gigs.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
Last week's bet. How many discrete and standalone tweets will the @Sonic_Hedgehog official Twitter account send between the end of this podcast and the end of the next podcast? We are at the end of this podcast. So let's see. 1, 2, a lot of trailers. That's a retweet from Arby's. That doesn't count.
That counts.
3, 4. 4 tweets. So, oh, god damn it. I bet 11 tweets. Scott bet 2. Nobshin bet 7. Tony bet 9. Andrew, who's on the meme team, bet 6. Here's the thing. It's dead center between Scott and Andrew's fucking bet. So that would mean the meme team would get 2 points.
Great.
Hell yeah.
We do need to figure out some double down on NATO thing. I know I brought it up jokingly at the end of the last podcast. Typically when I edit the show, I'm like, oh, we got to fucking resolve this at some point next week. I didn't edit the show until late this week. I apologize for that. So I'm still working on it. But we're working on it.
Yeah, you'll have to get onto him now, unfortunately.
It's okay. Please be excited for double down on NATO sometime. But that brings up the points totals to Team Nanashi is rock hard at 38 points. And Team Big Dick Energy is rock hard at 28 points. Now, Andrew and Scott technically won. Andrew is in here to claim his throne. I think that's the first time a guest has ever gotten a bet right, also.
Really?
Yeah. So shout out to Andrew Taylor for that. But Nabishin, or not Nabishin, Scott, you get Danny Juarez's Love and Affection until it's up for grabs next week. And also, the final word, if you want to reiterate anything or double down on something that you disagreed with, whatever you got.
Just real quick, I didn't say this in the proper show. I just realized that. Hey, I'm not on Twitter anymore. If you want to talk to me on Instagram, Nabishin186, or just ask me for my phone number, and I'll give you my phone number.
Yeah. Slide into those Instagram DMs and get those digits. That's how I got them. That and a whole bunch of dick pics. Scott, tell me what you want to reiterate or disagreed with on this podcast. Hit me with it.
Kingdom Hearts is never a regret.
My guy! That's the show. Thanks, everyone, so much for listening. Thank you.
2 weeks in a row?
Yeah, that was 2 weeks in a row, Scott. Killing it. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Thank you, everyone, for watching live while we record on YouTube. Andrew Taylor showed up in the chat here to claim his prize. I'm sorry, but if he has something he wants to reiterate or disagree with, I guess he can throw it in our live chat. As a reminder, we do record live on YouTube every Friday night around 7:30 p.m. Eastern time is when we start. We have a little bit of a pre-show bonus content is what we call it. It's off topics, not about video games. We just talk about whatever. Sometimes I try and bring a theme or a topic. Sometimes we just talk about our weeks. Try and mix it up, but we have a good time. So you can go check that out. YouTube.com/IrrationalPassions. Fucking ring that bell, y'all. Subscribe. Get notifications.
Don't ring the fucking bell.
Ring the bell, because then you'll get notifications on when we go live. Thank you to Danny Wiesner for opening music of Two Player Co-op, and our closing music of The World Is Saved. Go check out DannyWiesner.bandcamp.com. That's it. That's all I
Andrew's
got.
final word is don't kill Jill.
That's a good final word. Thank you, Nobishin, for reiterating that while we were playing. Don't kill Jill, everyone. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Nobishin, for joining me. As always, I love you, boys. Big hugs all the way around. I've been your host, Alex O'Neill. Play your games. Stay irrational. We will talk to you all next week. Titles. I haven't looked at this week's titles at all, so.
Let me talk about my butter tub. Are you ready for these jellies? Live your bliss. Buck Fat Man. Pads. Don't kill Jill. Nothing says last gen like a turret section. My hands are cold. And this boy make you cry.
What's Pads?
Puzzle
and Dragons.
Yeah. Literally, I banished the thought. Like, it was, you guys said it. I was like, oh, that's what that is. Fucking immediately forgot it. Like, that's how much I disregarded that.
And it's, by the way, it's not Puzzles and Dragons. It's Puzzle and Dragons.
I'm fucking sorry, Mr. Horvath. Let me fucking send my formal apology to your secretary. Jesus Christ.
You know, I might have one of those pretty soon.
Hell yeah, dude. I'm gonna start sending her emails being like, you know your boss fucks. I'm sorry.
Please forward this dick pic.
It's a I have some filized dick pics I'd like you to forward on.
He asked for me to have these dick pics on his desk by 7 p.m.
Mr. Horvath is hotly anticipating these filized dick pics, and I need them on his desk right now.
He had me collate them for him last night.
Orchestrate it so that after Alex sends it, you ask for them.
And somehow I get fired for sexual harassment.
But hey, where are those pics?
Hey, where are those pics at? Man, now the title should just be Tony's dick pic secretary. No, it's not going to be that. Buck Fat Man also forgot about that bit. Very good. Tony, what do you like? What would you want the title to
Vote
be?
for My Hands Are Cold because they're still cold.
I'm sorry your hands are cold. Scott, what do you like?
Yeah, you can't hear me breathe when I don't push the talk button.
No, I can't. I can't hear your heavy breathing in the mic.
Nope.
I lean away to breathe in.
I did that general sigh. That I normally do before I pick my title.
The classic Scott sigh.
Yep. We're gonna go with My Hand's Cold. Yeah.
Silver PR also, he's in our live chat. He's not normally here while we're recording. He says, "Good show, good show."
I love
guys."
you, Silver PR.
I love you, Silver PR.
So PR, what title?
Yeah, you
Silver
can pick.
While we wait, did Andrew take his final word?
He did. He said, "Don't kill Jill."
Oh, his.
That was his final word.
Final word, yes.
Oh, okay.
What do you like, Nobishin?
I like Live Your Bliss. I also like Buck Fat Man.
I like both of those too. Feels like we're gonna get outvoted here, but I do want to give. I just want to just give a nice special shout out to let me talk about my butter tub. I think it was before you got here, Scott, but shit got weird. As it often does.
The funny part about this is before I was here, because I didn't do bonus today, but I've had a I'd say we'll just call it a chronic headache for a week.
Okay, is it gone now?
Go away. Period.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pretty sure it's due to a muscle knot. So why I was so late is because to treat it, I stole my brother's massager, which he bought for muscle knots, and I took a dip in a hot tub.
Nice. So you're just fucking living it up before you came on this show.
So the joke before that is there's something weird in the hot tub now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think
It's butter.
balanced correctly.
Okay.
So yeah, that was the butter joke before I got out of the hot tub.
Okay, there you go. Butter tub makes it full circle. I'm cool with My Hands Are Cold. You have to say the title though, Tony.
Okay.
Namshin, you want to say the episode number?
Sure.
Whenever you guys are ready.
This is the Irrational Passions Podcast, episode 386.
My hands are cold.
Nice hands. You want me to send these dick pics to your secretary? We have fun here. You can stop recording now. Thanks everybody for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you for fucking supporting this dumb great show that we do that I have so much fun doing. Have a good night. Good luck, have Batman, and blah blah blah.